What do you feel, County, about being back for after a long time?
Uh, right now, maybe I feel like more like Matthew Wade and less like Suresh Raina. You know, at one point, I don't know. Yeah, it's been quite a while, a long time, right? It's I mean, like due to a few reasons, we couldn't make videos in the
Yeah.
middle. But yeah, it's good. It's right. It's really good to be back. I'm really excited. New season, new teams, and especially two new franchises. So
Yeah.
yeah, and as expected, IPL is going to be bigger, and I hope much better this year, right? So I'm really excited.
About the Suresh Raina thing, actually, I think he released a video after the auction, and it was, very emotional seeing him speak in that manner. That, he's like Mr. IPL. He has, I think, single-handedly won CSK at least two titles of the four or five they've won. So it's sad to see that he was not at least picked as a
By
player.
both the sides, actually, once back then when there was a team called Gujarat Lions, he was part
Yeah,
of Gujarat Lions as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad to see him not being part of IPL legend, actually, Mr. IPL.
yeah.
Mr.
Mr.
IPL
IPL.
Suresh Raina. I never thought there will be an IPL until Raina retires. Like there would be an IPL without Suresh Raina, but unfortunately, Chinnathala, Chinnathala is not going to play this time.
But then you could see an other side of the IPL auction as well. It's like the franchises have sent out a message that they're ruthless. They don't care about the reputation of the player. It's you're as good as until your utility value is there. It's like that once your utility value is over, they go on to the next big thing. I think so. That shows the ruthless side of the IPL auction and the franchises as well.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. You actually use the right word, being ruthless, because after a certain point, even friendships can't take you beyond a certain point. So ruthless, yeah. I mean, in this competitive world, especially in probably the world's best T20 league, as people call it,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Indian Premier League. So you have to be ruthless, and so happened even with Faf du Plessis, right, with CSK.
yeah,
CSK
yeah,
said they were after Faf until a certain point, but they
yeah.
thought, okay, Faf if not is not worth beyond this price, so we can't go for Faf beyond a certain price. So emotional bonds are only until a certain point, but after that, it's just as you said, ruthless.
And the show must go on. So
That's
it
true.
it, it
Yeah.
never stops for anyone. I mean, the game is bigger than anyone. So I think we'll start with analyzing each of the franchises, how they've performed. There have been, what I would like to say before we start analyzing is there have been some teams where if you look at them you think, oh, they've had a wonderful IPL auction, they've
Hmm.
like got all the bases covered. But one thing is that titles are not won in IPL auctions. We have seen that a lot in the past.
Yes,
So
yes, none more than Deccan Chargers
yeah,
2008,
yeah.
right? So yeah, it's never ever one on the auction table, but yeah, auction table kind of tries to get you all the ingredients required, right? And I mean, of course, even though you have the right ingredients, you need to cook well on that day, right? So
Yeah, and
uh,
2008,
it,
by the way, showed both the sides. Rajasthan Royals had the worst auction; they won the league, and Deccan Chargers had
exactly.
the best auction; they finished
Yes,
last.
yes,
So
yes. So yeah, as Mohan said, auction IPL title is never won on the auction table. But and moreover, one key thing that we have observed, especially what I have observed, Mohan, in this auction right now is, every team has got few loopholes, right?
yeah,
It's not like the previous IPLs wherein all the teams were like
yeah,
really very good. I mean, even this time, actually playing 11, the first 11s are good, but the backup options aren't that great, and you can understandably, because there are two new teams, so there is a division of the talent pool, right? The talent pool got diverged a bit. So that's one of my key takings from this auction. So what was the thing that caught your eye during the auction?
the first thing was, I mean, as you all know, I'm an MI supporter, and the first thing is, has MI forgot to raise their paddle? Were they slipping during that first day? It was like, will they even complete the team? That was my first thing. It was really tense, very tense. And the second big thing is, I think demand and supply was so much evident. There aren't as many good Indian players as you think. Because some of the franchises they struggle to fill up the slots with the Indian players, and it showed especially in the fast bowlers auction, right? With the Indian fast bowlers, especially, going way beyond what was the real valuation. So
Exactly. Even
demand is not there.
Ashish Nehra being part of the coaching
Yes.
squad for Gujarat
Yeah.
team has told even he didn't. Most of the teams haven't expected Indian pace bowlers to go for that price.
Yeah.
They thought maybe foreign batters or maybe all rounders, but
Yeah.
Indian bowlers like Prasidh Krishna, 10 crores and all like
Yeah.
that's
It
yeah.
was. I mean, the price valuation like was way beyond. I mean, Zahir Khan was saying it that some of the fast bowlers went for like 5x of their 5x, 10x of their original price. So you can understand when someone like Zach says
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I
So
think
yeah, so yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah. Go on.
we should go on now and start with analyzing each of the
Yeah,
teams.
true. Yeah,
What-
true. 10 teams. Yeah,
Yeah,
10 teams. It's
yeah,
going to be a
yeah,
long show.
yeah,
So yeah, as Mohan said, we'll be analyzing the team. So
yeah.
uh, it's like it's been. And one more thing from the auction. I mean, yeah, we'll be up there soon. But one more thing that I found really interesting in this auction was few really good players. As we started off with Suresh Raina being unsold, like like Owen Morgan or be it Steve Smith, Manas Labuschagne,
Yeah.
right? All this. Evan Lewis was Evan Lewis sold? No, I don't think so.
Yes, yes,
Was
yes,
he?
yes. Evan Lewis
Evan
was
Lewis
taken by
got sold.
Lucknow Super Giants.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, Evan Lewis.
good.
I mean, you can't expect big pitbull West Indies openers to go unsold. They will find a buyer. They will find a team where they can get off the dance and enjoy themselves.
Nice, nice. So, starting off with the IPL auction, so Mohan, which team do you want to go with first?
Yeah, Lucknow
I
Super
say.
Giants. I thought they really had a very good auction. In fact, they optimized the auction very well. I don't know what kind of software they use because their purse was 0 lakhs. They spent every penny. They did not want to waste anything.
So yeah, maybe we is the team now actually. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that will be interesting. Yeah, first is KL Rahul. I think opening is quite straightforward. I think there's no question about it. It would be KL Rahul and Quinton Decock for me. Decock for me, I think was an excellent steal. But one thing about both Rahul and Decock, which worries me, is after the 6 overs, I don't think neither of them are big accelerators. Obviously, I think KL Rahul can accelerate a bit and all, but in the previous seasons, we've seen that KL Rahul plays slowly, wants to play through the innings. But what I've very fond of Manish Pandey. He was there with Manish Pandey when Manish Pandey was in was at KKR. So Gautam Gambhir thinks that he can get the best out of Manish Pandey, and that's one of the reasons why they went for him. Um, so I think Kaunde is back now,
yeah.
but yeah, Kaunde, like we were discussing, KL Rahul and Decock opening slot and Manish Pandey at one down. But
Mhm.
I'm really not convinced by these three because these three are not big accelerators. Especially Decock, he was with MI for a long time. So after he plays the 6 overs, I think his is not much of an accelerator. Manish Pandey, it's the same with him. So I'm not convinced by these three actually. What do you think?
Uh, Kind of, yeah, but it all depends on how KL Rahul plays. Like, he shouldn't
Yeah,
be. I can understand. In Punjab Kings, he used to strike it around 120, 125. That's because he knew there wasn't that kind of backup for him. There wasn't. If he gets out quickly, there weren't great players who can support him.
yeah,
But now I feel that shouldn't be an issue for him because with someone like Manish Pandey or Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Huda, Kunal Pandey, they've got big hitters down, right? Marcus
yeah,
Stoinis, Huda, Jason Holder, Kunal Pandya. So I think that should give KL Rahul enough freedom, right, to go attacking in the power play. as you said, Decock takes time, Manish Pandey takes time. So, but I
Time,
think
yeah,
it's KL Rahul to it's time to take up the responsibility and go back to the player that we all
yeah,
knew once he was, right. He used to
yeah,
be
yeah,
that flamboyant, dashing, attacking opener, right.
yeah.
He used to strike at 140s. So, and I think he's capable enough to do that. And so I just hope he gets back to that old form.
I mean, it's a random thought for me, but what do you think about KL coming in at that number three? I mean, of course, it won't happen because they paid so much for Manish Pandey. But what if you let someone like a Manan Vora open and then KL come in at number three and control the innings? Because that's what it seems he likes to do. He wants to control the innings, and he's not able to do that effectively from that opener slot.
Mm,
So
maybe, but I KL Rahul as an opener is kind of a trusted, already tested and trusted process thing, right? Because he
yeah,
has been doing well over there. He has scored centuries by playing as an opener.
yeah,
So I think maybe, but yeah, I feel he'll be a bit more attacking than what he used to be in the last 2 seasons.
yeah.
Thanks to that middle order. But Manan Vora as an opener, one more thing with Manan Vora is the players like Manan Vora or no, they have got with all due respect to them, like out of
Yeah.
18 league games which teams will be playing right now,
Yeah.
you expect a good start in at least at least 7 to 8 games, right? Because you
Yeah.
need your
Yeah.
openers to do well. So can Manan Vora do it on such consistent
I
basis? I
don't think
don't.
so.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. That's a question mark. But then it's about, I think, KL Rahul trusting his middle order. I mean, at Kings 11 Punjab there was no middle order at all. That's an other debate. But then I think it's about KL Rahul placing that trust in his middle order, which will allow him to break the shackles. Anyway, if we move down now, I think the all rounders is very interesting. I think it's Marcus Stoinis will be at number four for me. Hard hitting Aussie all rounder who can bowl as well. I mean, people who can bowl and who can hit that big shots. I think they're in great. They've been in great demand throughout this auction, and you can see that in the price for which Stoinis was retained. So Stoinis at four for me.
So as
And
of
and
now, it
then
will be like KL Rahul and Quinton Decock will be your openers, right?
yeah, yeah. KL Rahul and Decock, and I think one down should be Manish Pandey, and then I think what Lucknow have done well is that pick that Indian core of all rounders very well, which is which has been the reason for success with teams like CSK. Great Indian core of all rounders. Jadeja, Raina used to bowl in his prime, and if you see with MI as well, Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya. So having that Indian core of all rounders is very important, and I think Lucknow have got that. I think number four will be Marcus Stoinis,
Mm-hmm.
and number five will be Deepak Huda, and then I think Krunal Pandya. Uh,
Actually, coming
Following that,
to as you said, you brought the name of Kunal Pandya, just to the bit
yeah,
fun side of it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Gujarat Titans were going. I thought at one point they'll go all out for Kunal Pandya. Like, just imagine
yeah.
both the Pandya brothers playing for
Please.
that. We know what kind of players they are. They're really talented. They have a lot of
Yeah,
potential, right? And especially Kunal Pandey, who hasn't been at his best in the last few seasons. So I think in one way, no matter what we say, as you said, because you rightly pointed out that the Indian batting, because for any successful team, it's
yeah,
the Indian core that's what needs
yeah,
to be at its
yeah,
best, right? So Kunal Pandey, I think, is going to be a vital role in this because they even paid him huge amount, right?
yeah,
Right. So I think Kunal Pandya's form, he needs to get back to form because I remember in this peak seasons, in few like 3 4 seasons back with MI, he used to regularly give 4 overs with the ball and then you know
yeah,
strike it, score the strike rate of 150 regularly, like scoring 30 of 10 balls or something. So he needs to get back to that form of Kunal Pandya
yeah.
because
I
that's
think
what do you think of Kunal Pandya?
I mean, 2020 was, people think of 2020 MI team as the best T20 team across all leagues, across all, I mean, all the tournaments put together. So, and what made up that core was Trunal Pandya regularly, striking at 160, 170 and giving 4 overs, excellent fielding. I mean, Trunal, Hardik, and Pollard were like, MI's top order was not good that season, but Pollard, Hardik, and Kunal just really made it up. So, but for me, one thing about Kunal is I don't know. One season is very good, and then the next season somehow he just drops off,
True.
and
Yes.
then
Yes.
and then he comes back in the next season. I think for Krunal and Hardik, they, with all due respect, the thing is they need to keep their feet on the ground a bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on the game a bit more, because I don't think Krunal has improved a lot in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
After that best 2020 season, 19 season, he has been there. Hardik
Yeah,
Pandya has
he's
dropped
even
off.
Kunal Pandey has even lost his place in the Indian side. Hardik
Yeah,
Pandey can understand injuries, but Kunal Pandey hasn't been, you know, that great even in the Indian team.
I mean,
So yeah,
I don't agree with you that injuries. I mean, why is a player injured? It's because he doesn't look after his body well.
mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't have good sleeping habits, eating habits. That's why he's injured, right? You go back to all of the very good all rounders or players in the Indian team. How many injuries does MS Dhoni have? He has to keep. He has to do captaincy and all of that. He has to bat, but literally no injuries. Yuvraj
Yeah,
Singh, until that cancer thing, no injuries. I mean, so it's about looking after your body. Injuries are
that's true.
no
I don't
excuse.
remember Jack Callis missing too many matches actually.
Yeah, Jack Ellis, Ricky Ponting, that great Australian team, Andrew Simons. They missed due to personal issues, but not due to this injury thing. So I don't buy into this
Yeah,
injury
yeah. But I
crap
especially feel
actually.
so coming back to this middle order thing because
Yeah,
on paper, yeah, they look very good. If Kunal Pandya comes to great form,
yeah,
right? I
yeah,
think they're going to be doing really well in
yeah.
this. So yeah,
What about number seven? Would you think Jason Holder would be a great fit at number seven?
uh, actually, I would say it depends on great. Jason Hunter, is one of the most underappreciated players, if you ask
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah,
right?
underrated
Yeah,
ones. Yeah,
and very underrated. And one special reason for that is his captaincy, his
yeah,
leadership. Okay,
yeah,
I'll rather call it leadership, right?
yeah,
Leadership would be a better word
yeah, yeah,
because the kind of experience he has, the kind of calmness he brings to the
yeah,
table. There was recently a video or somewhere on Twitter I saw that.
yeah,
Uh, there was West Indies versus some teams match going on, right?
yeah,
And there was a dressing room talk, and
yeah,
Pollard was the captain. But even though Jason Holder is not the captain of the team anymore, you can see him taking that leadership role, and you can see him, giving that pep talk to all the players, right? So that shows that there are few players who have that leadership skills. That's
yeah,
like they have that thing to motivate others around them. They have that thing to improve the performance, not just their own, but even improve the performance of people around them. They'll take everyone one step ahead. I think Jason Holder is actually one that kind of player, but he doesn't get enough recognition, obviously, because of the team he plays. So for me, Jason Holder was actually a good buy for Lucknow Super Giants. And moreover, actually, if you look at the team, Jason Holder,
yeah,
Krunal Pandya, Deepak Huda, Stoinis.
yeah.
They have
That's
got actually in attacking really good middle order,
yeah. And
right?
a middle order that can give you overs as well. You see, everyone in that middle order can actually bowl. Stoinis, Huda, Pandya, Holder.
Yeah.
This is literally almost a dream middle order for any T20 team. So, but one more worry for me is Stoinis. Do you think number four is, I think, the most important position in a T20 match, because
Yeah.
you come in there at 3 for 1, and also you come in there with 130 for 1 and just
Mm-hmm.
2 overs to go. So you need to have both sides of the game. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced by Stoinis coming in early at 3 for 1 or a 20 for 1 or
Mm-hmm.
20 for 2. So I'm not
I would say
convinced by
actually,
Stoinis
if
having that kind of a game.
no, I mean, now coming to addressing that, maybe one way of addressing that would be bringing up Jason Holder if they're really 20 for 2. Jason Holder
Yeah,
is actually a reliable batsman. Yeah, he can attack as well, but he's not that attacking as
yeah,
Stoinis or Deepak Huda, right?
yeah,
Jason Holder kind of can you can we saw it with SRH. He used to take the game a bit deep, and then maybe if such kind of case arises, then maybe Jason Holder can go up, right?
yeah.
So now looking at the bowling, the main thing, who do you think? And by the
Uh,
way, we've already finished like what? Decock, Stoinis, Jason Holder. We're done with
this
three foreigners.
Yeah, there's space for one. And also, just talking about a point about Jason Holder, you said that he's not the captain, but still he gives those talks in the dressing room. I think leaders don't need titles. They're always leaders. There are
That's true. Yeah,
captains, and then there are leaders. They don't care about anything. Yeah, I think
exactly.
Ravi Bishnoi is surely there, but I don't think he's at number 8.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
that depends. That we
yeah,
can't
that
say. We
depends
just
on
we
the
just we
order.
just
Yeah,
come up with the four bowlers. Whom do you
yeah,
think? Avesh Khan, Ravi Bishnoi,
I
right?
think Ravi
Definitely.
Bisnoy is drafted in, so I think definitely Ravi Bisnoy and
Yeah.
Avesh Khan goes
Avesh
in there.
Khan, yeah,
Yeah,
they have spent around 10 crores on him, I guess. So
yeah.
yeah, Avesh
That
Khan.
is a ridiculous amount. Zahir Khan would be thinking, why am I not playing now? Why am I rising paddles? Because Zahir Khan would have gone for what, 12, at least 10, 11 crores if you're giving Avesh Khan 10 crores. So
That's
anyway, I
true.
think it's Ravi Bisnoy and then it's Avesh Khan at 9.
Yes.
And then I think Mark Wood is there because they've gone big for him, 7.5 crores. They have
Yes.
bet huge on Mark Wood. And then the number 11 spot is interesting for me. Do you think how many bowling options do they have actually?
We've already covered, like, they got Stoinis, Deepak Huda, Krunal Pandey, and Holder. That's like at least 10 overs from four of them, right? On
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
need, right? So
yeah,
you at least need 10 good overs. So Ravi Bishnoi, Avesh Khan, Mark Udev. And one more thing is, uh, coming to the spin options, right?
yeah,
They've got a left arm spinner here. They got an off break bowler in Deepak Huda, and they've got a
yeah,
leggy in Ravi Bishnoi.
yeah,
So, I mean, we'll be looking at, as we have already seen the other teams. I mean, we'll be looking in the video further. But what
yeah,
I felt about Lucknow is I wouldn't say they're strong, but they're more covered in the spin department, right? I
yeah,
mean, they've got
yeah.
the different variations of
Variety.
spin.
Yeah, they
They've
have
got the
like a lot
variety,
of
yeah, exactly.
variety. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But one thing they lack is a left arm pace bowler. If you see,
true.
I think
Hmm.
that could make it really, somewhat predictable because all of the teams in the past have done well. They've always had a left arm fast bowler, at least a left arm pace bowling option. I
Hmm.
don't think they have a left arm option, right?
I
I
don't think
don't.
so.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
Yeah, maybe Dushmanta Chamira. Does he bowl left arm?
No, no,
I'm not
he's a right arm.
right.
He's a
He's a
righty.
right arm.
I
I
think,
think
see, Chamira is kind of a like to like replacement.
for
That's one
Mark
more thing I
Wood.
look. Yeah, for
Mark
Mark
Wood,
Wood. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Mark
He
Wood, yeah,
bowls quick.
yeah.
So, and coming to looking at the squad, we actually forgot about Krishnappa Gautam and Shahbaz Nadeem. Right, there are
Krishnappa Gautam, I think, would
the
have
guy
to
who got
settle
eight.
down for carrying the bottles for a bit more time. He's not used to it. So I think, but then there is Karan Sharma. Could you just maybe sneak in Karan Sharma into this team because he's a good
Is he the Karan Sharma, the leggy who played?
yeah, yeah,
I think
exactly,
this is a new
exactly,
Karan Sharma.
exactly. No, no, no. It's the same old Karan Sharma. He's 34 years of age and stuff. He's the same old Karan Sharma. Yeah.
Hmm.
He played for SRS, then MI.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think they need so many spin options. I think Ankit Rajput would be the 11th player.
Oh, that's actually, yeah. That's a nice call. Ankit
Yeah,
Rajput. Yeah, they
Ankit
haven't got
Rajput.
enough paces. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, that's true. Yeah, maybe depending on the conditions, it might be Ankit Rajput,
yeah,
or if they feel
yeah.
they need, if
But
it's a slowish track, then maybe instead of Ankit Rajput, they can play Shahbaz Nadeem, right? Depending on the conditions.
Shabazz Nadim. Yeah. But I worry for them. I worry for them that they haven't got enough variety in that fast bowling department. Avesh Khan, Mark Wood, Ankit Rajput, similar kind of bowlers. Okay, Wood and Avesh Khan bowl more pace, but this not that kind of a left arm pacer or a cutter bowler or something like that. So they could
Hmm.
be predictable. And who bowls at the death? Who bowls at the death?
Uh, the death, Mark Wood, and more than Mark Wood, I mean, they have got
He's
options.
Mark
Stoinis
Wood at
balls
death.
at death.
I don't.
Balls at the death for Australia. Of course, he got whacked in the last match.
Yeah. I would love
Sri Lanka.
Stoinis to bowl at the death. He has bowled at death when he was playing for Punjab to Emma and Pollard. I mean, I love Stoinis at the death. Come on.
No, actually, interesting. Stoinis bowled the last over against Sri Lanka, and then the T20 that happened a few days back. That went to super over. Jason Holder bowls the dead, but proper dead bowling option, maybe Avesh Khan or
I
Mark
think
Wood.
it's Jason Holder. I think they go
Jason
with
Holder,
Jason
yeah.
Holder
Jason
and
Holder can bowl
maybe
at the death.
Avesh
Yeah.
Khan. Yeah, they're looking at Wood and Rajput up top, and then Jason Holder and Avesh Khan. And maybe if you're courageous, a Kunal Pandya can bowl at the death as well. It depends on your risk tolerance level.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe if they need a left arm pacer, Kunal Pandey might just say, okay, anyway, I'm not able to turn the
Yeah,
ball. I'll just
yeah.
start bowling pace.
The ultimate thing would be Kunal Pandya playing for Gujarat Titans and him bowling the death over and Ashish Nehra running around the boundary line. That would have been the ultimate soap opera.
So, yeah, all in all, Lucknow looks a decent side. Actually, they have done well at the auction, even though they're new to it, right?
Yeah,
I
they have
mean,
done very well
very
actually.
good.
I
Yeah.
mean, but I when I see something which is too good to be true, I always like ask myself many questions and think twice or thrice. And this Lucknow team looks too good to be true now because they've got all the bases covered. But
Yeah.
then, but then I would like to ask you this question: when you've got all the bases covered, do you think that it makes you more predictable? Because in every team, in most of the other teams, there are at least one or two domestic players or players like that who haven't quite played in the IPL and things like that. So I think they bring a sense of unpredictability to the lineup, and that is
Uh,
something which Lucknow lack, I think.
but one thing I would say about the unpredictability is that even depends on the captaincy, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
example,
yeah,
look at a team like Chennai Super Kings.
yeah,
The team has been the same for the past few years,
yeah, yeah,
but the unpredictability comes with the captaincy of MS Dhoni, right?
yeah,
Wherein you don't know, out of nowhere you see Jadeja not bowling an over at all, like he
yeah,
doesn't bowl for the full day.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
there are days when his Ngidi just got one over in the whole day, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
unpredictability comes with captaincy as well. Look at the main captains, like successful captains. It's like Dhoni or Rohit Sharma for that matter,
Sharma, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Rohit Sharma, I can see the smile on your face the moment I said Mumbai
Yeah,
Indians, but
yeah.
yeah,
Actually, you were thinking about another name, but no name came into your mind, and you were compelled to
yeah,
tell Rohit Sharma there. I knew, but yeah, I think winning an IPL tournament is, I would say, when 60% it's about the captaincy, because you see Dhoni make the moves. It's almost like a chess game,
yeah.
Dhoni does it always, because you have to beat CSK. There are two steps. First, you have to defeat MS Dhoni, the captain, and then you get to defeat CSK. So that is how good. I mean, how much valuable having a good captaincy is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost
Harsha Bhokle recently, he said that, right? He normally keeps saying that a good captain is worth
yeah.
two players in a
Yeah,
T20
exactly. A,
team,
a
right?
good captain adds another shield,
That's one thing actually I'm eagerly looking forward to. KL Rahul's captaincy.
yeah,
By the way, I forgot to mention that KL Rahul is a captain. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. How well has been, because now that he's even kind of part of the Indian team's
yeah,
leadership group,
yeah,
so I expect him to do much better in the
yeah,
as a captain.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, all in all, good team for Lucknow. So yeah,
Yeah, very good team for Lucknow. Yeah, I expect
so
it
let's
to
see.
be in the top four.
Top
I mean,
four, yeah,
compete for the
compete
top four
top four,
positions.
yeah. So next team, then let's move on.
Yeah.
That I think we have
Which
spent quite a lot of
yeah,
time.
yeah. Which team would you want? Would you like
Oh, would
to
I like?
analyze next?
Okay, it's going to come up on the screen then.
Yeah, yeah. Delhi Capitals.
Capitals. Yeah,
Yeah. I thought you would go with this team. You're analyzing all the strong teams
yeah. So let's look at
first.
the Delhi Capitals squad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
give me a minute as I scroll through the website.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
there you go.
Prithvi Shaw, I think is they've retained him, so he's in open. I mean, he was struggling last season, but then Ricky Ponting has so much faith in him, and he was struggling with that ball, right, which jacks back a little bit from
That's true.
outside
Yeah,
off.
that was it was like everybody, even the domestic circuit players knew it. Like
Yeah,
Prithvi Shaw, want to get Prithvi Shaw out, bowled 2 3 out swingers,
yeah,
and then one that comes
and
back
then
in, and then
set him up for the in swinger. But then when someone like a Ricky Ponting places faith in you, it's like
that's true. Yeah, if Ricky Ponting is rating you
he
high, then yeah, then you're really
Uh,
talented.
yeah,
Yes,
I
true.
think it's Prithvi Shaw, and then the bargain of the auction. I mean, David Warner. I don't know why no
How
franchise
how
went for him.
how did
It's
I still
6.25
don't
crore,
get it? How did David Warner just go for 6.5 crores? How?
5 crores. I mean, Delia pulled up out a money heist. There's that show in Netflix. They pulled out
if
a
if there's
money
if
heist.
there's any player who can if there's any player who can literally say that he's one of the foreign players of IPL legends, I would say on par with Suresh Raina, it's David Warner, right?
Yeah, it's
As a
David Warner.
captain, as a player, he has scored more than 500 runs for 5 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, and he's won a title as well, right? For
Title as well. He has
S.
taken that SRH team, right? He literally carried that batting of SRH team.
Yeah.
Of course, I understand he had a bad season, but then he really gave a really strong comeback with that T20 World Cup, right?
Yeah,
He kind
I
of
mean,
showed the
he
world.
he had a bad season because he was David Warner, but the season was not that bad actually. But you're
That's
always
true.
comparing the season
Exactly.
to David Warner. He won 500 runs every
That's
season,
true.
so
That's exactly. Maybe he's himself to blame, right? Because he has
yeah,
set his
for
standards so
his
high.
standards are so high.
So the
So
opening
yeah, I think
combination is almost fixed, I
Prithvi
guess. Prithvi
Shaw and
Shaw.
David
I
Warner.
don't think anyone is going to oppose that.
Even Ricky Ponting can't change it. Even the Delhi owner can't change it. It is so much there.
But
But
I
then
feel Mitchell Marsh will be batting at number three because he has done pretty well at that role, in the World Cup and all. Like
yeah, this
he has kind of been a mainstay at that role.
yeah, this is where the mystery for me starts a bit. I was thinking about Mitchell Marsh, but then I was even thinking about Tim Seifert. Could you
Oh,
play Tim Seifert at a number three role, just as a pinch hitter or someone? I know he's a keeper, but then he's known for his hitting as well. And then could you play Mitchell Marsh as a finisher there, down there? Because Delhi's finishing is not that strong.
actually, in fact, maybe I might go with Tim Seafoot, as you said, is kind of a tonker. He can play at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
at down because Mitchell Marsh. He needs some time to settle in, at least now. I mean,
Yeah.
even the World Cup final in the World Cup, we have seen, he really. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it doesn't strike well. He strikes at 150, but
Yeah.
initially starts off at 110,
He
120, and
takes
then
time. He
slowly,
takes time
yeah,
to
yeah,
settle
he
in,
takes at
actually.
least 10 balls, 10, 15
Yeah.
balls to kind of, and then he
Yeah.
just takes off. So I think
Yeah.
it's better to have Mitchell Marsh over there. That too, when you have got two, or at least, yeah, two
Yeah.
dashing openers like Warner and Prithvi Shaw. You need
Yeah.
someone like Mitchell Marsh to kind of, and then that too, the next player coming up is Rishabh Pant, right?
Yeah.
When you've got such kind of dashing players around, I think you need to have someone like
Who
Mitchell
can
Marsh.
okay, I can understand where you're coming from. You mean to say that Mitchell Marsh can even control the game where people like Pant and then Warner and other
Exactly.
hitters can play around them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. And then I think it depends on situation of the game also. If you need someone who can come, who needs to just come and strike it at 150, then maybe you can promote other players to play in that position. Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly.
And then whom would you go with at number five? Would it be Lalit
Uh,
Yadav for you? Or that is a mystery, right?
Exactly. See, as I've said at the starting of the video, that every team has got its own loopholes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And one such loophole that I kind of feel is for Delhi Capitals is that number five.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
they have placed a lot of trust on Lalit
Lalit
Yadav.
Yadav.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even the last IPL, they have played him at number five.
yeah,
So I think maybe at least for the initial few matches, they might continue with that, right? Maybe for the first 3 4 matches, maybe they might stick on with Lalit Yadav. But if that doesn't work out, then as you said, maybe Tim Seifert. Actually, Tim Seifert is a very good option, or maybe Roman Powell. Like
yeah.
people like
Raman
them
Powell might be an option. Yeah, Raman
might be
Powell.
an
I've
option.
heard of him, but then yeah. So I think number five is one of the most important positions in the team because it's almost like your number five plays majority of the second half of the game because your openers maybe they play the first 10, they control it, but then the second 10 or even 8 7 overs, it's the number 5 who should control it there, maybe up the run rate, control the game. So I think this is a bit more than a loophole. It's actually a big hole for me, I think,
Hmm.
not having a reliable player at number 5.
But still, I feel maybe initially they'll go with they'll stick on with Lalit Yadav because
Yeah,
uh, they have even spent quite an amount on that on him as well. So I don't see them like going away from that standard thing,
yeah.
right? So maybe Lalit Yadav or
I mean,
actually I even
Roman Powell easy with Delhi Capitals. Is Roman Powell with Delhi Capitals? I don't think Roman Powell is with Delhi Capitals actually.
oh, but that's what the squad says. Yeah, he was with the Delhi Capitals. Yeah, Roman Paul is the Delhi Capitals. Yeah, that's what the squad says. Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
he's
Roman Power Delhi Capitals. Yeah, they are voting for
yeah,
2.8
yeah.
crores.
But,
Yes,
but
yeah.
then but then he's not an all rounder. He's mentioned as just a batsman for 2.8 crores. Yeah.
Hmm.
But ideally, you would want an all rounder at that number 5 position.
How about Akshay Patel? But yeah,
I,
he's not. Akshay
yeah,
Patel is kind of a bowler who can
bowling
bat
all
as well.
rounder
Yeah,
actually
bowling all
is not.
rounder. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that is with Akshar Patel. That's a little bit of. I
Yeah,
would
but at
not say
least for now,
drawback.
I can't look beyond Lalit Yadav. I guess at least for the initial few
Yeah,
matches.
yeah. But it's actually a big call that they haven't bought a
True.
good world-renowned all-rounder because you see people like Odin Smith, people like Tim David, all of them, even that Romario Shepherd, everyone going in excess of 5 6 crores. So
How about playing someone like Sarfraz Khan who is being retained by RCB? I
I mean,
mean,
as an RCB fan, you are well placed to answer that question.
Actually, I thought Sarfraz Khan might just go unsold, but it's
Yeah.
good. It's good to
Uh,
see he plays in IPL. Yeah. I'm
I
really
mean,
happy that he
I
has
mean,
got a bit.
the first time I saw Sarfaraz Khan batting, I saw his wagon wheel actually, and initially I thought, is the graphic man, has he done any mistake? Has he inverted the wagon wheel or something? Because most of his wagon wheel was behind the wicket.
Wait, how about someone like Mandeep Singh at number five? Actually, not a bad
I
option
mean,
because he's not that great, yeah, consistent
you
player,
should.
but still he has his own success in
RCB,
IPL.
RCB has tried Mandeep at number five, I think number five, number
Yeah,
six.
maybe Lalit Yadav. I feel in fact Mandeep Singh might be a better option than Lalit Yadav for me.
But then again, you see that okay, they have got good bowling options, I think. But again, five, six. I mean, having an all rounder at five, I think, is very important. But anyway, we'll know it if they have enough bowling options as we build
Yeah,
this
yeah,
squad.
yeah.
But then, yeah, I think number six is Akshay Patel.
Definitely, yes.
He's
He has
left
to. He's
out.
retained by. He was one of the retentions, right? So
One of the retentions, and
this
then
is where the thing about Delhi starts. The thing that I was kind of interested in, like what I feel they have done well is uh, about Shardul Thakur,
yeah,
right? There was
Shardul
kind of a
Thakur.
bidding war between
You could
them,
play
Delhi,
Shardul
and CSK.
Thakur at number five, actually.
Yeah, for the kind of innings he has given to India, yes, true. Yeah.
So for the time being, we'll keep Shardul Thakur at seven,
Yes.
and then Heinrich not yet at eight.
Oh, even Northcliffe can tongue the ball, I guess, right?
Yeah, he can tongue the ball. Nowadays, who can't tongue the ball?
Yeah, with the thicker bats, anyone can. That's true.
Yeah. I mean the
With those really, really thick bats, anyone can.
uh,
How
and
many
then
foreigners did we cover, by the way, until now for this
I
team? We are
think we
done
have
with David
one,
Warner,
two. We have three foreigners. We have
three foreigners
placed for
done.
one more. Yeah, we have placed for one more foreigner, and then Lungi Ngidi. I don't think they play Lungi
No,
Ngidi. It's
I
either
don't think,
not
yeah, that
PA
would,
or
especially, yeah, after the.
Ngidi.
Maybe they might
Khalil
try.
Ahmed.
Maybe they might try the fourth foreigner. Maybe Mustafizur Rahman, right? I mean,
But
yeah,
I
I know
think
he has a
yeah,
point to prove, but I don't still. I still feel, he bowls those cutters, slow
yeah.
balls very well.
But then the interesting thing here is Chetan Sakaria and
Similar
Mustafiz
players, yeah,
Rahman
true.
are similar
Similar
bowlers, and
kind of
when
players.
you have that, you tend to lean towards the Indian talent actually, because we can then play an extra foreigner where Indians are not available. So I think it's Khalil Ahmed for that left arm uh, death. I mean, Khalil Ahmed is a good death bowler, I think. Is Khalil Ahmed a right arm bowler or is he a
No,
left
Khalil
arm
Ahmed is
bowler?
lefty. Yeah, Khalil Ahmed is
Is a
lefty.
lefty, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a lefty.
and
Yeah.
one player which whom I'm really looking forward to. I really want him to do well. Like
Yeah.
he has really done well for India, and now I really hope he does well and proves his point here is Kuldeep
Kuldeep
Yadav,
Yadav.
right? His actually, I remember back then when Anil Kumble was a coach and Kuldeep Yadav came out to the scene. You were like, oh, we have got a Chinaman. Like few people didn't even know who
Yeah.
Chinaman was, right?
Mm,
So that
mm.
was kind of hype around him, and he has done well. Like in 2017 and all that, Dhoni was behind the stumps, as people say. But after that, he just couldn't live up to his own standards, like the
I mean,
expectations.
I don't agree that he couldn't live up to his expectations. The thing is, he did not improve himself. He's even now he's just a one trick pony. You know what is coming from him. It's it's mostly the ball coming in, and if you can pick his deliveries, the 1-2 deliveries, you can just tonk him. So for me, he has not improved enough
Hmm.
to sustain himself at this level for a long time, because
Hmm.
nowadays, especially, you have all of that analysts sitting there analyzing each bowler, the delivery is bowling, and all of that. And in
Hmm.
this day and age, you need to develop that variety. You don't have the variety, you're gone. So I don't think they'll play Kuldeep Yadav. They'll start with Kuldeep Yadav, but
But I don't think they even have. But I don't see any other spinning option over there for them apart from Kuldeep Yadav and Praveen Dubey. Praveen Dubey is a spinner. I don't know. So I think
uh,
at least, yeah, I don't see a proper recognized spinner over there. Praveen
Lalit
Yadav is a
Yadav
spinner, but
is a spinner actually. Lalit
Lalit
Yadav.
Yadav is an offie, but yeah, you just can't consistently get 4 overs out of him every time, right? So
Yeah,
maybe that's exactly why I feel they'll go with Kuldeep Yadav. The
yeah,
proper only recognized spinner, I would say, maybe after
right.
Akshay Patel.
Yeah. Chetan Sakaria, I think, plays at 11.
Would you go with Chetan Sakaria or Mustafa Sharma? And actually, one good thing about playing, as you said, Chetan Sakaria over here is You know,
Maybe you can play Chetan Sakaria over there, and you can play someone like a Roman Powell at number five.
exactly. You can play Roman Powell at number five, or as we thought, Tim Seifert at number
Yeah,
five. Tim Seifert is
yeah.
actually a good buy, right? More than
Uh,
Roman Powell, I would go with Tim Seifert because he's kind of more proven, or maybe I have seen him more. So
yeah,
it's a
teams.
bit. Tim Seifert is
Yeah,
actually a good buy for them, you know. So maybe
yeah.
yeah, that the
He's
good
very
thing.
inventive as well. He's very inventive as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you can play an extra foreigner over there. I think Roman Powell is an interesting thing because they've gone what 2.8 crores for Roman Powell, which means they think he's starting actually. Otherwise, you don't spend almost 3 crores on a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they play Roman Powell and then Tim Ziffert or Roman Powell.
But
And
is
then,
Ruben Powell good enough to bat at number five? That's one thing. Because even in today's match, just today there was a match, the India West Indies match. Roman Powell came,
yeah.
yeah, he kind of batted at five, but he came out at four. But I don't know. This West Indies batsman, you know, you can never trust. The only thing
You
you
can
do is
never trust them. It all depends on their mood. But then
exactly.
what this does is I think can play Roman Powell out there, and then instead of Kuldeep Yadav, you play a Lalit Yadav there, which means it increases the depth of your batting. I mean,
Maybe.
not at 10, but then yeah,
Yeah, maybe,
we
maybe
can
Lalit
change it.
Yadav at number six, and you can push
Yeah,
down Akshay Patel.
we can do that because right now, don't you think the tail is a bit big? Okay, Shardul
Uh,
Thakur can tonk it, but actually from Akshay Patel to Chetan Sakaria, you don't really have batsmen who can take the game away. They can bat, but then it's
mhm.
almost a very big tail. So
Oh, so you say maybe you can play, but Lalit Yadav's bowling, spin bowling is one thing that I don't trust much. You know, like I mean,
so
it's and
I mean,
moreover, because Lalit Yadav's spin, I don't know. He's not someone who can regularly give you 4 overs. I feel.
I think you have a lot of confidence in Kuldeep Yadav that he can regularly give you four
I do
overs,
more than
which he
confidence.
has
It's
not
like
been doing it.
more than confidence. It's like I just want him to do well. You know, like of course you never want any player to just go down
Yeah,
underperforming. Yeah,
yeah.
right. But Kuldeep Yadav is one player whom I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma is one of the players who has a I think he has one of the highest averages at Eden Gardens playing against KKR because he always gets to tonk Kuldeep Yadav. Whenever he's in bad form, he goes there and retains the form in IPL.
That's true. That's true. So all in all, what do you think? How do you think Delhi have done looking at the team?
I think there's a big hole in that middle. I'm still not convinced, but I mean every team has loopholes, but this looks like more than a loophole for me because I would say that middle three positions, 5, 6, 7, or
Hmm.
4, 5, 6 even are one of the most. They're like the heartbeat of the
Yeah,
team.
true.
When
So
chasing,
one thing
batting,
actually,
bowling.
maybe what actually that's exactly what I felt Delhi have done well in the auction is because they've got really nice players like KS Bharat, Yashdul, you know, who are
Yeah,
proper middle order bats. KS Bharat has really played well. He kind
yeah,
of
against
he has
yeah,
done
yeah.
well for RCB last season, you know. So
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
scored around two
He's,
fifty,
he's
three
a
hundred
good
runs.
stroke maker and stuff. He
Yeah,
can play
yeah.
at a number three
So
position.
number three, and maybe as you were saying, maybe you can play KS Bharat at number three. If you're not confident about your batting down the order, maybe you can then send Michel Marsh at number five, and then Roman Powell will come at number six. You know,
Yeah. But then honestly, if I ask you this question, if you're an opposition team and you look at this, do you see any player who I mean apart from the top three, do you see any player in the middle order who really like you're afraid of? There's that muzzle, for example, in the Lucknow team, you saw big strikers, right?
yeah, Marcus
Kunal
Stoinis,
Pandya and
Marcus
Marcus
Stoinis,
Stoinis. There's
yes,
not that fear factor there. So it's almost as an opposition team captain, you're thinking, I get the first 2, 3 wickets, and I think it's game. It's almost a game set and match. 20 for three, even 80 for three in the first 10 overs. I can cover it up in the last 10 because there's no one who can apply those finishing touches.
yeah, yeah. But one thing, but if you're Delhi Capitals management, you would like, you know, you that's exactly what you would not want from your top order, right? That you
Yeah.
when you got really good players like Prithvi Shaw, Warner, Marsh, and Pant over there, you really don't want to expose your lower middle order. So one the formula for me, like what I think would be for Delhi Capitals is kind of okay. My top order should be there batting at least another 10th over. I know that's not possible in on the
Yeah, in
matches. Yeah,
in all
it's
the
not
matches.
possible. But yeah, the formula for Delhi Capitals, I think, would be like, yeah, top order, give me runs. The middle order, somehow, they'll kind of tonk the ball in the last 5 overs, score around maybe 40, 50 runs. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, in terms of bowling, they have got good bowling. Like Shardul Thakur, Notkia can bowl at the death. Thakur,
Yeah.
we all know, the middle overs is kind of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
partnership breaker, right?
I think bowling is not an issue here. The only issue
Chetan
is
Sakar, yeah. I mean, coming to just to wrap up. Yeah, of course, we are taking a lot of time on this, but
yeah.
wrap up with Chetan Sakaria. His fastest ball. He
I think
bowls
it's in
slow. He
120.
bowls slow cutters,
Yeah.
right? But the day the first day when I saw Chetan Sakaria ball for Rajasthan last season, uh, they were saying he's bowling a slowish ball of cutter, and that was
Yeah.
around 110. I thought, okay, fine, that's a slowish ball. Then he bowled the next ball at around 122. And that was not a cutter. That's his fastest ball. His fastest ball is at on 126, and your cutter is at on 110.
I think you'll have to change the description beneath Kunal Pandey and write left arm fast bowler. If you think Chetan Sakari is a fast bowler, Kunal Pandey is scamming people, man, with his description. He is not a spinner. Come on.
So yeah, I think. But well,
Yeah.
that's a good thing about Delhi Capitals. They've got options. If they feel the
Yeah.
lower middle order is not doing good, they can sell Mitchell Marsh down, play KS Bharat, or maybe play someone like Sarfraz Khan. Maybe who knows? Maybe one or two matches you can just chip in. So they have got a nice team. They have done well in the auction, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, just the last point on this. You talked about, you used the word that the top order should look to prevent exposing the middle order, right? But don't you think this was a downfall of KL Rahul, because that's what he was doing at Punjab, that he was playing a bit slowly so that he should not expose the middle order. I think that can actually play against you, actually, because
Exactly, but
ideally
I
you'd
know.
want your top order to go all guns blazing, and then you'd want someone in the middle order to control the innings.
Yeah, but why I'm really hopeful about this is because there's a player called David Warner over there, and he's
Yeah,
being exactly performing that role,
yeah,
protecting the middle order role for
yeah,
SRH for almost
yeah,
five
yeah,
seasons, and he
yeah,
almost excelled in that role.
yeah.
So that's exactly what makes me feel Delhi Capitals can do well in the auction,
Yeah,
right? So yeah,
interesting team for me, Delhi Capitals. We'll have
that's
to
true.
look and find out how they'll resolve that middle order issue. So we'll go to the next team. So what have you got for us on the plate now, Andy? Wow, Punjab Kings. Nas Wadia was like just going on in the auction. This player, that player. I want everyone. Come on, come on, come on.
The interesting thing about Niswadi, I mean, even the Zahir Khan and Ashish Nehra were saying that is that
Yeah,
he was kind of complaining when other teams were taking a lot of time, but he
yeah.
himself ended up taking a lot of time.
A
Like
lot
he
of
was like
time, yeah.
1 minute, 1 minute.
And in the middle, sometimes 1 minute, and he was having a quick munch of snacks, something to drink, and then okay. Nurse Wadia is a very colorful character on the field and off the field is always there, yeah. But then I think Neswadia was also one of the most proactive owners there. He was always discussing it with Anil Kumble and all of that. He was engaging everyone in the discussion. That was
That's
something
true.
I really liked about him.
So let's have a look at
Then,
the squad then. Punjab Kings,
yeah,
what do you think? They've got
yeah.
a really nice squad. I mean,
I think Shikhar Dhawan was a very important buy for them. It just settled them down nicely for the rest of the auction, getting Shikhar early. I think
mhm.
Mayank Agarwal and Shikhar Dhawan opened the batting for me.
Okay.
But
Actually, they interestingly even got Johnny Bairstow. Like
yeah,
they were.
that's what even I was thinking. Would you open with, or would you play Mayank at a three and open with Johnny and Shikhar? What do you think? What do you think about this?
Playing Mayank Agarwal at number three, I don't know, but that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, is because Mayank Agarwal, Shikhar Dhawan, I mean Shikhar Dhawan, and Mayank Agarwal, both of them strike at almost the same rate, right? They've
Yeah,
played
yeah,
around
yeah,
120s, 130s.
yeah, yeah,
So maybe you can go with Shikhar Dhawan and Johnny Bairstow up top
yeah,
and Mayank
yeah.
Agarwal
Mayank,
at the bottom. Before coming to the opening combination,
yeah.
of course, the cricket bus says Mayank Agarwal is a captain, but did they confirm it? I mean, is Mayank Agarwal a captain?
I don't know, but they have confirmed Shreyas Iyer as the captain for KKR. That's the only
Yeah, yeah.
news which we have got,
So
and
we're not
everyone
sure
knew
if
that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
everyone knew when
Everyone,
they went for 12 crores.
yeah. So we're not sure about this,
Yeah,
but I think they'll make Mayank Agarwal the captain simply because they want to groom a player in that leadership role. I think you're not expecting Shikhar Dhawan to be there beyond the next 3 years, maybe.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
Mayank Agarwal will be there. I
They
think
haven't
they have
retained. Yeah.
retained.
Mayank Agarwal is one of the retentions, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you're paying 12 crores for him, so I think he has to be the
Has to be
captain.
the captain. True. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the top three looks solid. I mean, of course, they might strike at a similar strike rate, but still, it
yeah.
looks solid. When compared to the other teams, which should be
Yeah.
looking
And the
next.
strike
Yeah.
rate is at the pace of knots. No player in the top three knows how to play defensively. Everyone just uh, goes on and strikes, and all of the three can play spin very well. Actually,
True. Yes.
Dhawan and
Yes.
Bairstow are really good players of spin. So that is something which
At
I
number
think that
four, the player that almost all teams went after. At one
yeah.
point, KKR had just 9 crores, but they were bidding at around 7 crores for Liam
Yeah,
Livingstone.
Liam Livingston. I mean that was a very good buy from Neswadi. I think because Livingston gives you that bowling option as well, and he bowls leg spin, off spin, and
That's
whatever
interesting thing about him,
you
right? He
want.
bowls leggies, he bowls offies,
Uh,
right? It was crazy. I mean, at one point, KKR really went for were bidding at around 7 crores when they just had a
yeah,
purse of 9 crores left and they
nine
had to buy four
crores.
more
Yeah,
players.
yeah. Neswadia just had a glance at KKR. Should we screw them or not? What should we do? No, I'll raise the paddle. That's what you did.
Good buy, but actually,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, excellent buy. I thought this was one of the buys of this auction after David Warner.
yeah,
Actually,
people
very good.
watching might be thinking, Liam Livingstone kind of maybe overhyped, maybe
Yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of over talked about, but no, I don't think so because after looking at him, the way he has played, the way he has developed as a player, you know, and there's this interesting story that I heard about Liam Livingstone recently in one of the videos was that
okay,
he played the 100, the new format in England
yeah.
for the Phoenix, the Birmingham Phoenix, and the same auction strategist over there is a strategist for Punjab Kings. So he was kind of
Oh,
he,
this is
he
interesting.
insisted
I did
on
not.
he insisted on getting Liam Livingstone because he saw Liam Livingstone
Yeah,
having that future in Phoenix and he has done well over there.
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of a side story for viewers who don't know.
And
Uh,
also like if you track Liam Livingstone, it's like he has that urge in him to improve as a player. I think he was not at this standard 2 3 years ago even. So he's
True.
come a,
Yeah.
come a long way in improving as a player. I think Livingstone at four. I think this middle order has to be one of the best in the IPL. And then you have Odin Smith. But then before we come to Odin Smith, you have Shah Rukh Khan, who is who has gone for 9 crores. Wow! And Shah Rukh Khan gives you that spinning option, right?
True. Yeah.
And he's
Shah
an
Rukh Khan
Indian
for
player.
9 crores. I mean, exactly. Yeah. Coming to that, as we were discussing initially, Indian
Yeah,
players really getting really high values. Did you expect? I really didn't expect someone like Shah Rukh Khan to go for 9 crores. I thought maybe people might go after him like maybe for what, maybe five,
but the,
four, five
but
at life. But
then if you just put Shah Rukh Khan in the Delhi middle order instead of a Lalit Yadav in that place, you just see the difference of what happens to the Delhi middle order. It just transforms itself. I think these kind of players are very rare in the Indian circuit.
true,
All rounders who can who are that power hitters and who can do a bit of bowling. What you have
true,
Kunal Pandya, you have Hardik Pandya, you have a Shah Rukh Khan, and then you have a Ravindra Jadeja, and then who are the other
true,
players? I
true.
don't say. Now, if you say Abdul Samad or
Right.
Abhishek Sharma, I'm just
Sharma.
gonna leave the show. They're not in that.
They were retentions. Abdul Samad is one of the retentions. Yes, can't say that, Mohan. Yes, can't say that. But yeah, Shah Rukh
but
Khan, yeah, they went after him. So when you're paying 9 crores and 11, that's 20 crores, right?
yeah,
11.5 crores and 9 crores. That's 20 crores at number four and number five. So when you're paying to 20 crores, you expect at least 7 overs, 6 overs from them every
yeah,
match, right?
and you expect them to absolutely absorb the pressure. 5 overs remaining, 100 to win or even 110 to win. You expect them to get actually since you're
True.
paying that much price. You expect them to go at 150, 160,
Yeah, I just
170.
hope Shah Rukh Khan his performance doesn't get affected by
Yeah,
the price
the
tag.
the the
Yeah,
price
we
tag and the
always, yeah, we
expectations.
always see that, but I just hope it does well because that's like 6 overs of bowling over there.
Yeah.
And one thing about Livingstone is even though he doesn't do well with the bat. Recently, I saw one of the matches he has been doing much better with the ball.
Yeah.
right? He was taking wickets. so,
but,
so
but another thing about Shah Rukh Khan, why they paid so much for him is no one wants to miss out on the next Ravindra Jadeja. No one wants to miss out on the next Hardik
oh,
Pandya. So I think that is one of the reasons why franchises are going after, yeah, your Abdul Samad, your Abhishek Sharma, your Shah Rukh Khan, even if it comes at such a high price. Because 6 crores for even an, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but 6 crores for an Abhishek Sharma also
this
didn't make any sense, right?
that's true. Yeah, but that's a huge call from you, Mohan.
Yeah.
Point Shah Rukh
Yeah,
Khan
yeah,
the next, Jadeja or the
yeah.
next.
No, 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 no. I mean, I say that franchises are looking for the next Jadeja or the next Hardik Pandya, so they don't want to miss out, and they think maybe Punjab think he might be the one, and they're spending money on him. When you never know, because when Hardik Pandya came, no one knew, right? When
Yeah,
Kunal
that's
Pandya came,
true.
no one knew. When Jadeja played for Rajasthan in 2008, no one knew. So and then the next one is the devil. Enter the devil, Odin Smith. My God, wow! You look at him striking. People say that he's the next Andre Russell.
But is he can bat at six? Do you think he
Yeah,
can?
yeah.
Yeah,
Odin Smith
because
can definitely bat at six. They call him
mhm.
the next Andre Russell. Actually, I was actually surprised that my team MI didn't go for Odin Smith. They didn't
They were
even
in the race,
rise
I
up
guess,
batting
right? They
practice.
were in contention until one point, but after that, they just
Who was it?
Mumbai
PTR?
Indians. Mumbai Indians was, I think they
No,
went after
Mumbai
Odin
Indians
Smith. No.
never raised the paddle for Odin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Uh,
Pollard doesn't want competition for him. At this
maybe
point,
maybe not.
he's telling I'm young, you know. But then number seven is
We have got a
interesting.
top four of wherein actually, we got a
Wow,
top six wherein we got uh, three foreigners,
wow,
one wicket keeper done, and at least Odin Smith, Shah Rukh Khan, Livingston. That's like at least 8 hours of bowling,
yeah.
right?
But
So that's well
wow,
covered.
look at
But
that.
at number eight, seven, I don't know how much you'll agree with me or the viewers, but there's one player that I like. Of course, he's not well known. Is Rishi Dhawan.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a
actually,
pace bowling all
he's
rounder.
he's well known. He played for MI for 3 seasons, so he's well known to
okay,
me.
okay.
Rishi Dhawan is like, is Rishi Dhawan can play as a bowling all rounder. His bowling is very good actually. And Rishi Dhawan used to play for Punjab, then he played for MI, and then now
MI and
he's
then back
returned
to
back
Punjab.
to
So yeah, so shall we go with
Punjab.
Rishi
Yeah,
Dhawan at number seven then?
yeah,
Right? Maybe
yeah.
for the
Rishi
initial
Dhawan.
match, I think they should try with Rishi Dhawan.
Yeah,
Right?
he's an excellent bowler. He will give you 4 overs actually.
Yeah,
He's like he's a very good bowler. Yeah, he's a bit nippy kind of a bowler. He can swing it both
yeah.
ways,
So
and he
coming to
can.
the four bowlers, of course, KG Rabada. He should be there as a fourth foreigner,
Yeah, Rabada.
right?
Yeah, and Rabada
Rabada,
can bat as well. Rabada can
true.
actually bat well.
Yes,
He can
yes.
tongue.
So I think their bowlers should be Rabada, Rahul Chair, Arshdeep Singh. They retained Arshdeep Singh,
Yeah,
the
Arshdeep
left
Singh. Yeah,
arm.
yeah. I
So
think
that's
we were
like
talking about Arshdeep Singh in the last season, and you were telling, "Oh, Arshdeep Singh, who is he?" And then he's one of the best death bowlers, actually, Arshdeep Singh.
yeah. So I can see Rahul Chahar,
Yeah,
Rabada, and
yeah,
Arshdeep Singh at number 11. Yeah, depending on the pitch. Maybe if they need, maybe Harpreet Barar, or maybe if they want someone in the power play initially, maybe Sandeep Sharma, because I see Kagisa Rabada bowling mostly the death. They need him for the death,
yeah, yeah.
right?
But
So
but
maybe.
there's one interesting player is Raj Bawa. Raj Bawa is someone they say in the under 19 circuit is a very good all rounder, and
Mhm,
Punjab have paid 2 crores for him, which means they expect
mhm.
something out of him.
Yeah, so maybe a Raj Bawa at number eight. Yeah, we can move Rabada and Rahul Chahar down the order, or
No, but at this point, I think logically Sandeep Sharma, I mean Arshdeep Singh, and then Sandeep Sharma plays at 11.
yeah,
At least
because
in the
in
initial
initial
days.
segment, because I feel they need a really nice bowler who can bowl well in the power play. Of
Yeah, yeah,
course,
Papa.
Sandeep Sharma may not be he might be past his prime, but I think
Yeah,
he's still a reliable option. Not a bad option in the power play actually.
yeah. Actually, Sandeep Sharma kind of reminds me a bit of Praveen Kumar used to be there. He was
Yes, yes, yeah.
almost in his prime. He was almost unplayable in the opening overs. He used to
Hmm.
swing the ball both ways, but once he got past his prime, the ball stopped swinging, and then he was just out. So
Yeah,
I mean, just look at this team. Do you? I think they have all of the bases covered. I think
exactly,
of the three
exactly.
teams we have seen, do you find any hole in them? I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe I don't know. Exactly. That's exactly what an excellent all rounder like Liam Livingstone brings to the table.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
about until they bought Livingstone, I thought maybe an offie, until they bought Shah Rukh Khan as well.
yeah,
But then Livingstone, of course, you might Livingstone and Shah Rukh Khan are not reliable
yeah.
offies, but yeah, I mean, they kind of brings variety. Maybe what they might be missing is maybe a left arm spinner, right? In case if they need one, a left arm spinner. But yeah, Kagi Sarabada at the death, Sandeep Sharma in the power plays. Middle overs, obviously, you can get on with Rishi Dhawan, Odian
I
Smith,
mean,
Rahul Chahar.
I don't think they'll miss a left arm spinner because they have Rahul Char who's a leggy. Because both a left arm spinner and a leg spinner, if you see, they do the same thing, right? They bring the
Take the ball
ball.
away from the right hander. Yeah,
Yeah, take the exactly. So I don't think they'll. I thought Rahul Chahar was an excellent pick actually
that's
because
true.
leg spinners. I think like we were discussing on the auction day as well that leg spinners are again supply and demand. There are not many good leg spinners going around in India. You have a Rahul Chahar, you have a Yuzvendra Chahal, and then
Yeah,
who else is there? I mean Ravi Bishnoi,
Kavi
and then
Bishnoi. Yeah,
uh, there are not many leg spinners going around.
even
I
if you
mean,
look at their,
I know you'll kick me out of the show if I say Mayank Markande. So I better not say that. Actually, I'll keep it to myself.
even looking at the backups they've got, let's look at that. Maybe if they need a pacer for maybe Nathan Ellis, you can
Yeah,
uh, rate them fast or Ishan Puril. They've got good backup
yeah.
over there,
Ishan Porel is
right?
good. Yeah. The only place where they haven't got a backup is maybe in that all-rounder section. But then you are just allowed a squad of what 25. So I don't
True.
expect you to have a backup in every position.
hmm So yeah,
But
Oliver, what do you feel like? What do you think? How do you rate their squad? Even though they're not good backups over there, so of course you can't expect, as I said, backups in
yeah,
every team, right? This time around because
yeah.
it's
But
due to the
yeah, but the team
talent pool
is
getting divided.
yeah, but the team is very good. I think out of the three teams we have reviewed till now,
hmm
I think this looks the best. I mean, all of the bases covered everywhere. Especially, this team has the fear factor, right? Which you were talking about in the Delhi Capitals team. You're an opposition captain. You look at that middle order. You're like, wow, the fear factor. The train just starts to run in your heart. That middle order, my God, can just smack the ball. The third umpire has to go leather chasing if that middle order gets into form. Odi- Odin Smith, I mean, himself can literally, I mean, that middle order can strike at 150 from the get go. It is so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But one thing that again coming to, as I always say, I'm looking forward, or maybe I doubt, I would say, is the captaincy. What do you think
Yeah,
of Mayank Agarwal, or maybe we don't know. I don't think it's confirmed, but yeah, mostly obviously when you're playing 12 crores, he should be the captain.
yeah,
So what do you
yeah.
think of Mayank Agarwal as captain? Yeah, I haven't seen him much as a captain, so I can't rate
No,
him much.
no, 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 no. Even I haven't seen him, but I think you need to groom a young player. Otherwise, how is he gonna get experience? Rohit Sharma, when he started captaining MI as well, he was groomed almost by Ricky Ponting, and then that's when he became a good captain, right? Even
Mhm.
MS Dhoni, he took that little bit of time. Ganguly, I mean, uh,
Yeah, but how about having Shikhar Dhawan? Initially, I thought maybe they would go for Dhawan as a captain because he has had that. Of course, he hasn't had really good success, but he has captained SRH previously. He's got that experience. You know.
yeah, I mean, but then it also shows the attitude of the team attitude of the ownership of the coaches when you throw a youngster right into the boil.
hmm
I mean, the message you sent out is this season we are gonna be on the front foot. We just gonna go out there and smash everyone. We have a young captain. The team is looking progressive. The team wants to be on the front foot. I think that kind of a message you're sending
Okay.
when you pick a young player as a captain. And I think okay, you can take a risk for this season, but then you learn from experience. And after
hmm
2-3 seasons, you have a gem of a leader over there. Can build
Yeah.
your core around Mayank Agarwal. I think Punjab is looking to build their core around Mayank Agarwal, Shah Rukh Khan, and Arshdeep Singh. I think that is the core which
Even
they're
Rahul Chahar is kind of young.
Rahul,
Yeah, Rahul Chahar.
Rahul
Uh,
Chahar, I think they're
yeah,
trying
I
to.
think Liam Livingstone and Shah Rukh Khan. At least those two are here to stay, right? At least
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Liam
yeah, yeah.
Livingstone.
And then Odin Smith also, you don't know. West Indies players, they always tend to stay if they're like a team. See, Andre Russell, Dwayne Bravo, Karan Pollard, they've been
I
moved
think I
anywhere.
think the performance of West Indies players, with all due respect, the performance of West Indies players, I feel kind of depends on the way the team parties after a match.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
If they really like the way
Quality
a
of the
team parties
parties,
after a
yeah.
match,
Quality of the parties.
yeah, yeah, these guys, these guys, the West Indies players, absolutely
They
love
can
their
be,
parties.
yeah, they
They
absolutely.
really.
They can be very loyal as well, yeah, to the parties.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Right. So all in all, yeah, not
Very
bad
good
squad actually.
game.
It's a good one. The only worry, as we discussed earlier, is the top order. Kind of similar kind of players. But I think Livingstone, Shah Rukh Khan, Odin Smith, that middle order will make up for it.
Yeah, but then you also see the variety in there. I mean, left arm fast bowler. You have a right. You have a leg spinner, and you have a Kagiso Rabada, great death bowler.
Hmm.
When you have Liam Livingstone who can bowl both. You have Rishi Dhawan. Fantastic,
Hmm.
fantastic team for me.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on.
What?
So I think it's time to go on to the next
Yeah.
team. I feel
What's the
right.
next team we are looking at?
Okay, the next team. Your, your
Wow.
very own,
Am I? And I
Mumbai
have quite a
Indians.
lot to say about
Okay.
this. Am
Yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah. So before Mohan starts anything, yeah, being an MI fan, I think it's right. Mohan takes over and tell what you feel as a fan. But one thing from a neutral perspective, what I feel is uh, this MI doesn't look as strong as the old MI. Yeah, they might groom young players, but it doesn't
Yeah,
look as strong before you add anything. Yeah, this doesn't look as strong as this. Maybe due to they couldn't buy back players like Hardik Pandya. Obviously, he's a captain. They can't buy him back. Kunal Pandya has gone. You know,
yeah,
uh, Trent Boult is not here anymore.
yeah,
Absolute steal. But one thing is, we'll get back to that later. We get back when the bowlers come.
yeah,
Was buying Jofra Archer.
yeah.
But yeah, so Mohan, the stage is all yours, right? Tell us what you feel about the Mumbai squad. Honest opinion. Yeah, come on.
When the auction was over, I was like, I just looked at the team and I was like, my God, this. I think this was one of the worst teams after Gujarat Titans. That's what I felt. We'll get to Gujarat Titans later, but yeah, this was one of the worst teams. This was one of the
Oh,
worst auctions
okay.
we had. That's what
Uh
I
huh.
thought. Because you look at it, there's inexperience throughout, and then you go into the social media and you have people for other teams. You have experts. Literally, there's all of the experts were saying that they rated MI 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's not strong enough. They don't have bases covered. But then I took a day or two after the auction. Took a day. I reflected on it, and actually, this felt like one of the very good teams in that auction. I felt we really had a very good auction, and the reason for that is we didn't do anything different from the previous auctions. This team, I don't actually agree with County here. I think this team is as strong as the previous MI teams, and as we get into writing the lineup, I'll explain why. As I reflected on it, I felt this is one of the best teams in the auction actually. This is a parallel point of view, but then as we go through the lineup, you'll understand
Sure,
why.
sure. Yeah, I'm
My
really excited. Yeah.
uh,
So
reasons for
openers,
it.
there's nothing, right? Ishan Kishan, they
I
desperately, right? They really wanted
Yeah,
Ishan Kishan back. Of course,
yeah,
maybe looking at him as a future captain or
yeah, yeah. And
right.
also you have a wicket keeper. There a lot of things. Indian player, wicket keeper, Indian team opener. I mean, a lot of things going in
Ishan Kishan.
Ishan's.
Number three,
Ishan.
Deval Bruce. I think they should go Deval Bruce. I'm excited to see
You
Deval
know, you know,
Bruce.
you know. Before we go to number three, the reason why MI went 15.27 that amount of money for Ishan is there's a documentary. I think it was on the 2017 season when MI picked Ishan for the first time,
Mhm.
and then I mean it's like cameras will be sent into the dressing room, that kind of thing. So there was constant complaints of Ishan Kishan sleeping late, coming into his room at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, not eating good food, not having healthy food habits and all. From that kind of a player, Emma have literally transformed him, put in 4 years, 5 years of work on him, and then transformed him into the kind of player he is. So Emma literally didn't want to lose him. So I think that's one of the reasons why Emma went so
Of
high
course,
for
yeah.
Emma.
He even knows the teams. Even knows the ethos
Yeah,
of the team.
team
He's been
teams,
around for a while, right?
yeah, for a
And
while exactly. Yeah,
he's made his mark as an Indian
yeah,
player. So
yeah. Yeah.
Coming to Ishan Kishan, yeah, I was
Number,
actually,
yeah,
before you finish it off, I was
yeah,
absolutely furious when SRH just,
yeah.
dropped the paddle off once they crossed 15. I was really hoping SRH to get Ishan Kishan. Yeah, we'll discuss that later
And,
when
and
SRH
then
comes
what
up.
irritated you more was that they didn't
Oh
put the
yeah,
paddle
that
down
that's
for
what
like
that's what we'll look at that once the thing comes up. But
yeah, I will look at for SRH. Yeah, as the number three is coming, I can have that look on your face. He said this is one of the best teams. Now let him come. I'll just pounce on him. All of the players are crap from here on. Yeah, but number three for me is Tilak Verma.
oh wow,
In their,
that's an interesting choice.
their
Okay,
the very
the
bullish
Hyderabad
option.
player, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Hyderabad
the
player. Yeah.
Hyderabad player. You could say slash Deval Brewers, but then
Mm-hmm.
let me say Tilak Verma here for the time being. And this is people look at this and say number three is not there with MI. There's an absence of number three. How they are going to manage it? But if you look in the past seasons, this is what MI have done. 2014, 2015, Nitish Rana, relatively unknown quantity at that time. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, there was a player called as Tirmal Setti Suman. If
Yes,
you
yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
remember, MI played him at number three, and then after that, after Nitish Rana also, MI played Ishan Kishan at that number three position. So Ambati Raidu when he was not in good form. Then Ishan Kishan played for a while at number three. Surya Kumar Yadav was given number three for a little bit of time. So I think MI always had that unknown quantity player at number three. They reserve some positions where they
Mm-hmm.
can groom those kind of players.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, Tilak Verma is someone they're looking to groom in that kind of an ethos, which they've been continuing from the 2014 season until now.
Yeah, even yeah, come on. Even Zahir Khan was actually after the auction saying that they actually scouted Tilak Verma for quite a while now, right?
For
Yeah.
2 years, for 2 to 3 years, that's what both CSK and MI were scouting. But then this is like I said in the traditions of playing an almost unknown player at number three position and then grooming
Maybe
him.
it's a gamble that has always worked for them, so I hope it works even now,
Yeah,
right? Tilak Verma, just
I
an
won't say
exciting
it's
talent.
I won't say it's a gamble because you have a Rohit Sharma at the top and you have a Surya Kumar Yadav who is below Tilak Sharma.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tilak Verma,
Mm-hmm.
which means that the young player will not feel that kind of a pressure at all moments because you have an experienced player always on the other side. And I mean, if you don't expose a young player to these situations, how will he come up actually?
Mm-hmm.
So
So yes,
that is my view actually on MI's number three. That's what I realized after the reflection. I watched a few videos of him and then MI scouted him, and that is what we have been doing all the while. Why have I felt bad about it?
okay, so
What is your view on that
I'll
number
get to that.
three?
Let's go to number five, and I'll tell you the point that why I was telling was not. I don't see that fear factor. No, it's still the fear factor, but it's like I don't know. I mean, maybe MI have set themselves the standards very high, the bar so high that maybe this team may not be on par with the previous teams, right? So
No,
let's whom do you think will be at number five? Yeah, before we go on to it,
number five I think will be given to Karen Pollard this time. That is for
he
sure.
has to go at number five, right?
It has to go at number five, Karen Pollard.
Hmm.
And then Tim David has to go at number six, 8.25 crores.
Yeah, yeah, the guy whom they got from
Yeah.
RCB.
Yeah, but RCB gave him, and also people are telling about Tim David. He's not at that level, maybe because everyone expected MI to go for Odin Smith, Ishan
Hmm.
Kishan, and Odin Smith. People expected MI to buy them both back at, I mean, buy them at any price. But Tim David, for me, I'm excited with him because he got a season at RCB, which means he got time to settle down, understand the environment, and all. Even though he played just one game, so I think this season is almost all set to really go on because it's sometimes we underestimate the time needed for players coming from a different culture to settle down into the environment of the dressing room.
Hmm.
So Tim David for me is at number six.
So who comes at number seven then?
Number seven is an interesting one for me.
Okay.
I think I would play a Ramandeep Singh or a Fabian Allen at number six, number seven. I think MI are very bullish on Ramandeep Singh actually. They
Hmm.
bought Fabian Allen, but uh, if you ask me personally, I think Ramandeep Singh plays at a number 7. And who is Ramandeep Singh? You go and watch him play. You almost think that Hardik Pandya is playing there in terms of his back lift and all of that sort of stuff. And he bowls medium pace as well.
But do you think they'll
So,
start off with Ramandeep Singh ahead of Fabian
he-
Allen? Someone like Fabian Allen.
yeah,
And one thing that we should never forget in T20s is fielding. And Fabian Allen,
yeah,
he may not
he's
score runs, but actually
yeah,
he'll save a good
yeah,
amount of runs with his fielding. He's an
yeah.
absolute gun fielder, Fabian
Yeah,
Allen.
he's a gun fielder, I know. Yeah, but then that's what people said when MI bought Hardik. Did you know who Hardik Pandya was before that 2014-15 season?
Yeah, but
Didn't, right?
you just can't expect every player to go
Yeah,
out and perform
exactly.
like.
Yeah, exactly. Hardik Pandya took time, 1 or 2 seasons, but they groom. What I'm saying is they will give him time to groom. I think maybe they'll start with Fabian Allen, but Ramandeep
Mhm.
Singh is a player who you can look out for actually. So I
Actually, they've
think
got interesting. I think before, what about someone like Daniel Sams?
Daniel
Uh,
James, he goes at 10.25 economy rate in international T20s. So instead of Daniel Sams, you can bowl in Arjun Tendulkar and he'll go at a much lesser economy rate. uh, or yeah, Fabian Allen. Uh, yeah, and number 8 will be. I think this is. I think it's Mayank Markande for me, who's
the
at
player
number 8.
who has done
Yeah,
well for one season and then got traded to some other team, right? The same player you're
yeah, I
talking
mean,
about.
yes, he has got rid. I mean, I think Harsha Bogle also was telling about this. He was telling that as soon as Markande was picked, he was telling that he was speaking to Lakshman Shivramakrishnan at the National Cricket Academy, and
Hmm.
he was speaking about leg spinners. And Lakshman Shivramakrishnan said, and Harsha Bogle asked, which leg spinner would you love to train at this point? Would you love to watch? And Lakshman Shivramakrishnan, interestingly, didn't say Chahal or Rahul Chahar. He said Mayank Markande.
That's
So
nice.
that is something an interesting point. So there's something in him, an X factor in him. So
How
it's
about
yeah,
yeah,
gone.
yeah,
Murugan
yeah, yeah.
Ashwin, no way. Murugan Ashwin starts over Mayank Markande. Murugan Ashwin is just a backup.
I think they'll go with Taimal Mills and Jasprit Bumrah. Their pacers, right?
Yeah, of course. Tamal Mills for me is a steal actually at 1.5 crore. Tamal Mills is
Oh, you
an
think so?
excellent. Yeah, and also another thing why they picked Tamal Mills is there's this 100 tournament in England, right?
Yeah.
Mahila Jayawardene coaches the side which Tamal Mills plays for actually in that competition.
Hmm.
So Jayawardene would have seen a lot of him, and Timal Mills is a very good death bowler. I think Timal Mills bowls at a pace in excess of 145, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
cricket. Yeah.
he bowls.
Definitely.
He's
Yeah.
that fast, and MI always had those fast left arm bowlers. Mitchell Johnson all those years ago. Okay, Trent Bolt is not in that category, but yeah. So
So we have one slot left, so I think they'll fill it up with some Indian pacers. Maybe some Basil Thampi or maybe some like Jaydev
Thump,
Unadkat. Yeah, Jaydev Unadkat. What do you think of Jaydev Unadkat, by the way?
yeah, I think Jaydev Unadkat starts. I think he's experienced, and it's kind of a shrewd boy, but Jaydev Unadkat could go either side for me actually because Jaydev Unadkat has always had what do you say up and down seasons. One season he
Hmm.
was very good, and then he's gone off the boil. And
Yeah, and a notable mention over there is this man, as you can see on your screen that I'm typing.
Jofra Archer, yeah. I
Right,
think
of course,
once
yeah, he'll
Jofra
be available
Archer
from the next
comes,
season. So
yeah, once Jofra Archer comes, I think the dynamic of the team changes entirely.
a
He
lot.
provides a lot of
I feel
value.
Timal Mills has been bought in just for Jofra Archer. Maybe if Archer plays over there,
No,
because
no, 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 no. Actually, MI traditionally always like to have a left arm foreign pacer, a right arm foreign pacer, and then Bumrah is there because Coulter-Nile, Trent Bolt, or seasons before that Hazelwood, Mitchell McClenaghan. All of those seasons ago, it was Sean Pollock and other left arm pacer. I don't remember. 10-15 years ago. So yeah, so Timal Mills will be there, and I think instead of Jaydev Unadkat, you play a Jafra Archer,
Mhm.
and then maybe instead of Fabian Allen, you play someone like a Ramandeep Singh over there.
Mhm.
So that's what they can do. I think 4 foreigners are covered, right?
Yeah, if you play Fabian Allen, then four foreigners are covered. Yes.
Yeah, then it's 4-4. Or maybe you play a Ramandeep Singh or even a Sanjay Yadav, who they say
Actually,
is
yeah,
a left
I
arm.
was I was getting to him. Sanjay
Yeah,
Yadav,
yeah.
left arm orthodox.
Yeah, left arm orthodox. Actually, this is a possibility because are there any left arm spinners? There aren't any left arm spinners, right?
That's exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So answering the
So
question, why initially I said they're not as strong as the previous teams. Yes, coming to that, uh,
yeah.
one thing about MI in the previous seasons was, no matter what, they had pretty decent spin attack. You might say, of course, they'll play most of the matches in Mumbai and all. This doesn't matter whether you spin it or not. But eventually, if not now, for the next 2 seasons, they will be playing on few slow strikes. Like in Chennai, or you come to Hyderabad or you go to some other places, right?
Yeah, but
So
who are the spinners then? Who are
exactly,
the
exactly.
spinners
That's
then?
exactly where I felt they're lacking this season. Like last until last year, they had, of course, Mayank Markanda had really breakthrough season, and then Rahul Chahar was their main go-to guy. Right? They had Piyush Chawla who was really performing well, who actually chipped in and did well for MI. So I feel spin department. If you look at the squad depth, as I'll just shoot off to you over here, I don't kind of see any much spin depth over there. What do you think of that one? Don't you think that's actually, that's why I wanted Fabian Allen to come at number 7, because he gives that right arm offy few overs, right? It's always good to have variety in your team, uh,
Yeah.
because you don't know. Rahul Chahar had kind of, he actually, they groomed him well. He ended up performing well.
Yeah, yeah. Rahul Char had his breakthrough season in
Breakthrough
MI
season.
actually.
Mayank Markande had it, but he just kind of, so we don't know how well he can perform again. So that's why I feel maybe that's, how do you look at the spin department? Like, looking at spin, don't you think it's a bit weak? I mean, something that maybe you wish they would have covered better. Maybe instead of
Uh,
buying a Murugan Ashwin, they could have gone for a proper off spinner. You know,
and the reason why they didn't buy a proper spinner and they bought Murugan Ashwin is they trust Mayank Markande a lot. They're like
yeah,
really
yeah.
bullish on him. So what they want is they don't want the youngster to feel. I mean, Emma have always done that. They don't want the youngster to come under pressure that there's a big spinner waiting behind me, and if I have one bad game, that they're gonna throw me out of the team. So
But
that's where
Mayank,
Emma have taken care of.
but isn't Mayank Markande the same player whom they have traded to some other team?
Yeah, yeah,
After last season.
yeah, they have traded because Rahul Chahar was also having his breakthrough at that point of time. If you see,
Mm-hmm.
so only one of the spinners could come into the team. So I think they would have had a chat with Mayank Markande, and they've decided it's best for him to go and maybe play in an other team. So and also about this spin attack, Emma had very good spin attack. Do you really consider Kunal Pandey to be a spinner? From where did this spin attack logic come from?
No, but still, it's like if the really pitch ball starts to hold up a bit,
Uh,
they had that kind of, because I'm coming to that point because I don't see, even though it doesn't bowl spin, but you used to see Pollard bowling those cutters
yeah,
and all, but
cutters
yeah,
and
but
all. Yeah.
I at the fag end of his career, can Pollard still be bowling them that well? I don't think so, obviously, because age
I'm
might
not
be
sure about Tim David. I'm not sure about Tim David
Tim
also
David as well.
because
Yeah,
Tim David bowls in of we
yeah.
don't know about him. He's a bit of an
Exactly.
unknown quantity.
The
So I
team looks
think
good. The Mumbai team looks good, but yeah, when compared to the previous teams, which has
yeah,
really won
previous
well,
yeah.
I still feel there's a hole over there, but you never know. Like someone like Rohit Sharma has done well, Rohit
Yeah,
Sharma,
yeah,
that team.
I mean, this team to come to the levels of that team, Tilak Varma has to like develop into that what Ishan Kishan was 3 years ago. That kind of
Yeah.
a player, or a Nitish Rana who had his breakthrough. I think Tilak Varma has to do well, and I think Ramandeep Singh or Fabian, not Fabian Allen or Sanjay Yadav. I think when they need to keep on chipping well, and Mayank Markande. I mean, Mayank Markande and Tilak Varma need to really have that breakthrough seasons for us to
Yeah.
do well.
Yeah. One
And all
thing that
and
I was kind of happy about
yeah,
Mumbai Indians is
yeah,
they retained their old
yeah,
backbone, the backbone
yeah,
of,
old core,
yeah,
yeah.
the
And
backbone.
it
They
and it
always
came at a
believed in.
cost, and it came at a big cost. You see, you see the amount of money they had to spend.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they got what they wanted, right? The first date actually looked like, teams like SRH and MI weren't buying anyone.
Yeah, weren't buying it. They
Like
were. I think they were storing that money for someone like a Tim David and
Joffre
these
Archer. Joffre Archer was
and
actually a
Jafra
steal.
Archer. Yeah, Jafra
Yeah,
Archer. MI
yeah.
did that. Jofra Archer thing brilliantly actually that they saved up for him and
You can actually
they
see Akash Ambani's face. You know, the moment he got
yeah
Archer was like, that was my
yeah
master
that's
plan, and I get it
yeah
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you should say it's a steal Archer at 8 crores because he would surely have gone for something above
Mm-hmm.
10 crores in
Mm-hmm.
other auctions. But another thing which MI really like to do is play that quick right arm foreign pacer. So do you think there's space for a really Meredith
Maybe.
to come in?
Maybe if it all depends on maybe how Timal Mel's does. I mean, he's a good
No, no,
bowler,
no,
but
no,
it's not.
no, no, no. Timal Mills is surely a fixture in the team because he's a left arm pacer. MI like a left arm pacer? But
Mhm.
along with the left arm pacer, MI always like to have a right arm pacer as well.
Yeah, but if they bring in someone like Relay Meredith, then where is he going to play? You have to vacate one foreign player slot, maybe in place of Tim David or Fabian Allen.
I mean,
That's
you don't give 9 crores to a player and then vacate him, right? So
that's
Tim
true.
David has his flag planted on that number 6 slot. I think the number 7 slot is an option. You play Sanjay Yadav there, and
Hmm.
then instead of Jaydev Unadkat, you play a really Meredith.
Hmm. Maybe.
Then the bowling attack I think looks good. You have a Bumrah, you have a Taimal Mills, really Meredith. Because what happens is if you play a really Meredith, then he can bowl a lot with the new ball, and Bumrah can be saved for the fag end of the innings.
Yeah, who do you think balls in the power play now? Yeah, someone like the Indian pacer basically has to ball in the power play.
Has to bowl. It's a Jaydev Unadkat, I think.
Yeah, middle overs, Team David, Pollard, Mayank Markande, these guys can just carry over and
These guys
then
can,
Bumrah back
yeah,
at the death.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
squad looks good. I'm not, but let's see. Top four
But there's a
one. Do you think they'll make top four?
slight bit of unbalance.
True.
With
Yeah.
MI you don't think of making top four. You either win it or you don't qualify for the top four. That's the only logic that works for us. We are not satisfied with just getting into sneaking into top fours and stuff.
So as an MI fan, how do you rate them at the auction? Like, forget about the performance that they may give, you never know. But how do you rate
Right,
this auction?
right now,
And please mind,
knowing,
they have got Jofra Archer for a steal, and
yeah,
putting all those things in mind,
yeah,
how do you rate
yeah,
their auction
yeah.
on a scale of
I
five?
mean, yeah. I mean, knowing, as someone on the outside, you might give them a 5. But if you ask my opinion, knowing them, following them since the inception of the IPL, knowing how they have worked, with the youngsters and all, I give them a 9 out of 10 at least here.
Wow, that's great.
Because because they haven't done anything differently. They have done the same things like we were talking about Nitish Rana, yeah, Tilak Verma here. So yeah.
There are a few other teams which have done something similar, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, something. I mean, this is from my perspective. Honestly, I have to give them a rating, disregarding the fact that I'm an MI fan and all. Maybe you rate them a 5 or a 6. But since I know MI very well from all of the seasons, I give them a high rating.
yeah. So as you said, MI has stuck to their old plans and they have continued the same template. You say it's a good auction. I've got
Yeah,
one
yeah,
team up right in front of you now, the next team, which
yeah.
has actually done the same thing that they have done pretty much same in all the previous auctions.
Is it
And
SRH? Yes, yes, yes.
you know, just like MI, SRH have trusted Indian bowlers,
Yeah.
Indian young all rounders, Indian young players. They have trusted the same Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma, Abdul Samad. Look at the bowling over there. You know, Umran Malik, Natarajan, Bhuvi, Kartik Tyagi, Shreyas Gopal, Jagdish Suchit, right? Abhishek
But then,
Sharma,
but then,
Samad.
the difference between MI and SRH is how many of the youngsters which SRH have trusted have had breakthrough seasons. Can you name a few?
That,
Can you
that
name anyone who has had a really breakthrough
that's
season?
exactly one thing about SRH is none of the players apart from Warner, Kian Williamson, Rashid Khan, they
Yeah,
have breakthrough seasons,
yeah,
but they somehow tend to, of course, last season with them or not, but somehow they tend to perform well and get in the top four.
yeah, yeah,
That's what surprised everyone, right? You look at Sunrise team over the years.
yeah,
They never had that wow Pollard kind of player. No Bumrah
yeah,
at death. No, they never had Dhoni or someone like them at the middle. No Kohli, no De Villiers. But then, come on, 2016 they won the trophy, and from then on, 5 seasons they made it to the top four. Of
yeah.
course, thanks to Warner for carrying the
Warner,
team.
yeah, yeah. I mean, with SRH, okay, they have youngsters and all, but you look at them and think, is it really a a team game that they're playing. They rely on a few individuals, and the individuals literally carry them through seasons. And
Mhm.
you can sneak into the top four in that way, but that way, that thing doesn't win you championships. That I mean, you need to have that. I know everyone contributing equally in the team to win the IPL title. So I think in the 2016 season, you had more contributions from the French players than only Warner. You had someone like a Ben Cutting chipping in.
True. Yeah.
You
The
had
final
all your
match.
yeah. You had, I think, Yusuf Pathan was also there in that season, right?
Mhm.
He was playing well. You have Manish Pandey, who had a literally good season, and all of those things. So
Yeah. But talking about, okay, fine. Coming to SRH team, you're talking about steel. Talking about bargain backline. Yeah. For me, one of the best bargains is getting
Nicholas Puran, right? You would have gone for 20 crores. You have
such
got him at half the
such
price.
you're such a spoiler, Mohan. I was talking about Eden Markram. You know, we'll come to Nicholas Puran shortly. Yeah, I'll tell you why I was so pissed off. But yeah, actually getting someone like someone experienced, in
Yeah,
fact, like Eden Markram with just 2.6 crores.
yeah,
I think that was actually a nice buy. Out of all the maybe, maybe I would say maybe few illogical buys that SRH has done,
yeah,
Markram is kind of the most logical buy I see. Markram and Rahul Tripathi.
yeah. Uh, I think Markham was one by which lifted the spirits of all the SRH fans after the shambolic first day of auction, right?
Exactly, exactly.
First day of
The
auction
first
was
day,
not
yeah,
at all
before we
good.
start off the charge, the first day it looked like as if they didn't even have the paddle, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have 67.9 crores, and I don't understand this. Why can't you get a marquee player? For 67, you have that kind of a purse, right? You
They have got a
and
marquee player. They have got a marquee player, but unfortunately, he's not part of the marquee list. So it's not their fault. They got Nicholas Purin. I don't understand the fact that, see, is it? I was actually so angry because it's always better to spend more on Indian player. Someone like
yeah,
Ishan Kishan
yeah,
was looked at as a future captain because he captained the under 19 team. Dashing opener, he can play in the middle order, wicket keeper. He slots in so many
yeah,
things. He plays
yeah,
for India, proven. Is it
yeah,
better to spend 15, 16 on him or to spend 11 to 12 crores on Nicholas Puran? I mean, with all due respect, Nicholas Puran actually is a very good talent. He can do well. He has done well against India today. As we're talking about Nicholas Puran, he has scored
yeah,
a half
yeah,
century today.
yeah. But
But
but Ishan Kishan
consistency,
has moved. He is not a talent anymore. He's somewhat like a bit of a proven player now. He's moved
and
beyond that
exactly,
talent
exactly. And the
phase.
difference between talent and proven player is
Yeah,
that big, huge thing called
yeah,
consistency. Right?
yeah,
Ishan Kishan has been consistent for MI for for the last three
yeah.
seasons or so. Now he's playing
Under
well for
pressure,
India.
under pressure, he has
And
performed
yeah, so
for
Nicholas
MI.
Puran, I don't know. Yeah, of course he can do that. He can do that. Maybe out of 18 games, maybe Nicholas Puran can win you three games,
Yeah,
right? But can he? But when you're paying that much of amount, you expect him to do at least play well for 50 to 60% of the games,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that's one thing I really hope. I'm really hoping that Nicholas Puran does well for SRH because you look at SRH team, as always, they trusted the Indian players and all. So a lot revolves around the foreigners, right?
yeah.
Back then it was, as you said, Ben Cutting, David Warner, and Kian
Warner, yeah,
Williamson, Rashid Khan.
yeah.
And similarly now
Base,
it's against,
yeah.
Markram and huge, huge, huge responsibilities as usual
Return,
again on Kian Williamson
yeah,
for the
yeah.
batting,
Yeah.
right?
And also another thing about Puran is SRH have too many of these players who are talents and who have not gone beyond the talent sort of a thing. You have an Abhishek Sharma, he's a big talent, and he's an Abdul Samad who's a big talent. You have a Nicholas Puran who's still a talent. You have a Marco Janssen who is still in that talent zone.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I would even say, Umran Malik is in the talent zone, right? He has not
Exactly.
proven anything. He's
Yeah.
just bowling pace, 150 pace. So you have Shreyas Gopal, who's still in that, is in okays, but he's still in that zone. So I think SRH needed to bring in at least two or three more players who were a bit more proven, so that they can even guide these talented players. Just imagine you have an Abdul Samad and you pair him up with someone like a Kieran Pollard, for example. Even in the middle, and Abdul Samad will learn a lot about big hitting and stuff, right? How to handle pressure situations and stuff.
True.
So
Yeah.
that is what SRH have lacked. Now, if you play an Abhishek Sharma and Abdul Samad together in the middle order, what will both learn from each other?
But I mean, of course, yeah. This is never. You can always learn from others, but still, yeah, what Mohan meant to say over here is experience is what matters, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. You
experience
learn
is what
more from
experienced
an
players.
experienced player. That's how
But
they
I
grow.
feel this has to be SRH top four. Of course, people might say Abhishek Sharma maybe he should open because if he doesn't open, the middle order becomes a bit weak. But I mean, I still don't understand why they paid that much for Abhishek Sharma. So and I like Rahul Tripathi at the top because you need Markram takes time. Kian Williamson,
Yeah, actually, for me, I think play Markham at four and Puran let Puran open the batting because Puran has played for Kings 11 in that zone, 3, 4, 5, and he has not performed well at all. It's like he takes that pressure. Puran is also not that kind of a player who can
no, but
from
one thing about Nicholas Puran is kind of he has a reputation to play spin well. He
yeah.
a little bit at least. I mean, amongst all the West Indies players we have got,
Yeah, but then when
you can
Puran comes
say.
on, teams will bowl fast, right? They would have stand against him. So
So, but kind of happy with the top four. But I feel at least the first match they'll go with this as a top four.
yeah, this one,
Uh,
yeah, this.
of course, we might think of not starting with Puran at all, but I don't think that's going to happen. They will
No, no. I
definitely
mean,
play their
Puran,
program.
just like Tim David has his flight ticket already sent to him and his flag planted there on the number 4 spot. We don't care. You have to come. That sort of a price.
And now comes the main, the main what do you say? I
Yeah,
would say the main
and
trusted process for
also,
this team, as SRH management might say, that is their core, that is their spine. But for us, that's kind of the weak link. That's the lower middle order.
yeah.
That's always been susceptible, right? They are always prone.
Yeah.
Whom do you think at five? Five Abdul Samad.
I mean,
He was
Abdul Samad,
retained, right? Yeah.
you've retained Abdul Samad, which means you play in there, and then
Then
it's
maybe
Abhishek,
Abhishek Sharma. Yeah, they
and
paid.
Abhishek Sharma is given more than the retailed Abdul Samad. I didn't understand this logic. Then you could have retained him only, right? At 4 crores.
That's true. At number
I
seven,
mean, I mean,
yeah, yeah, Kiran, go on.
and other logic was Kunal Pandya went for 8.5, right? You pay 6.5 for Abhishek Sharma, and you don't even uh, go for Kunal Pandya at 8.5. Just imagine Kunal Pandya is there, Abdul Samad, Kunal Pandya. That would have been a much better middle order, right?
Yeah,
I
but
didn't understand this logic.
one thing that I would like to no, I mean that doesn't SRH always even in the post match thing they were talking about having the young players back because
Yeah.
Abhishek Sharma, Priyam Garg, they were part of the setup for a long time now, right? So
Are
they have
SRS running an IPL franchise or a training academy?
just
Get
like
all the
what Mumbai
kids
is
back.
doing. No, just like what Mumbai has been doing with the young players, so
Yeah,
maybe.
but yeah, but MI is only doing with two young players in every batch of 3 seasons. You look at last batch was a Hardik Pandya and an Ishan Kishan, right?
Hmm.
2015 to 2018. That was the 2017. That was the project. And then
Hmm.
afterwards, they're now bringing in Tilak Verma and a Mayank Markande, or that's the project. But here it's almost like a filling. It's like filling kids with school bus. You're almost having everyone there, and Kian Williamson and Makram are the school teachers. That's what it's looking like that.
But now at number seven comes in the player, I mean, whom they have paid seven, almost 8 crores,
Eight
Romario
point.
Shepherd.
No, I think okay. Then you play Washington Sundar at number 8.
Number eight, yeah, Washington Sundar at number eight.
Yeah, because they paid 8.75 crores for Washington Sundar. I mean, this Kunal Pandya went less than Washington Sundar.
Yeah,
Kunal
yeah.
Pandya will be scratching his head, right? I mean, Shahrukh Khan was available. Shahrukh Khan went at what, 9 crores? Kunal Pandya
Shahrukh Khan was 9 crores,
8.75.
yeah. Shahrukh Khan at 9
Yeah, Shahrukh
crores.
Khan 9, Kunal Pandya 8.5, and then I don't know above all why did you pick Washington Sundar above both those players? Doesn't make sense, right? Because I mean, Shahrukh Khan would have added a lot of depth to this middle order.
That's true. Yeah, but one thing I would, or maybe interesting thing, like okay, first let's finish off the playing 11, then we can talk about the backups. So at number seven, I think they will start with Romario Shepherd after playing for 8 crores. Yeah, they
Yeah,
should.
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
Shreyas Gopal has to play there at number 9 because he's the only leg spinner.
the same thing as with Mumbai Indians. Actually, I was surprised that they couldn't retain Rashid Khan. Maybe, as you say, some
And it's
backroom staff issues and all.
yeah,
No,
it's
no
problem. I think Warner and Rashid Khan is
management.
problem with the
Yeah, management
management
issues.
because otherwise they would have at least tried to I mean, bit for Warner if that was not the case, right? Warner at
Yeah.
6.5
So
crores.
if there's ever a, a huge downgrade, I would say, I mean, with all due respect to Shreyas Gopal, in any at any position in this current IPL auction, I don't think there's a much bigger downgrade for any team than the leg spinning position for SRH. Just imagine from one having one of the best in the world, right? Rashid Khan in the
Yeah,
team is
yeah,
bank.
yeah.
When you have Rashid Khan in the team, opponents only bat for 16 to 17 overs,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
one bat over
almost
for
four
him,
overs.
right? It's
Four
almost
overs,
4 overs
right?
in the bank. He only so it's like the opponents only play for 17. From having one of the best to
So,
now their spinning attack is weakest, I would say. Washington Sundar and Shreyas Gopal, right? I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
Washington
it's
Sundar, yeah, he's been at the Indian setup, I understand, but he's not a huge turner of the ball. He's not
yeah,
someone whom you
Eastern
can,
football. Yeah.
yeah, he just
And
relies
I
on bounce.
understand Washington Sundar has been good in the past in the IPLs, but right now I think he's had a couple of seasons. Teams will get to know him better. Teams will analyze him. It's
True.
almost like, when Ajanta Mendes came and no one could pick him, and Virender Sehwag just with the black and blue out of him, and Ajanta Mendes was nowhere to be seen after that.
So yeah, number 9 says Gopal. Number 10 Bhuvi Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Bhuvi.
hope.
And
I
number 11
really
should be Umran Malik.
Umran Malik. Yeah, they have written Umran Malik for his pace, and all that. So yeah, I think this they might go, but one thing that
But
I
doesn't he?
really want them to
Yeah,
change,
yeah.
I know it may not happen, but uh, this weak link over here, I know. Is it getting highlighted, Mohan, over here at the moment I highlight?
The entire team is getting highlighted for me. Not just those three.
Yeah, so over there, you see a lot of. I mean, they have paid a lot of amount for Romero Shepherd, but the world hasn't seen him much, and I don't know. Instead, I would go for someone like Glenn Phillips over there. Glenn Phillips, for me, is actually a good buy. He's a proven player for.
Not going to happen, I think, because Romario Shepherd is 7.75 crores. So
Yeah, I mean, but
you
if you
can't,
just if you
and the
forget
thing is, you're telling this middle order is a loophole, and you cannot touch any one of them. All the three are permanent fixtures. Abdul Samad
exactly
retained, Abhishek
retained Abhishek
Sharma
Sharma.
7 crores, Romario Shepherd 8 crores, Nicholas Puran 10 crores. All of you can't touch even Washington Sundar 8.75. You can't touch the middle
You know
order and
what?
the lower
You
middle
know
order.
what? SRH has spent highest amount in auction for their
Yeah,
weakest link. Look at this.
yeah, yeah,
4 crores, Abdul Samad, 4
yeah.
crores, Abhishek Sharma, 6.5,
And
Romario
yeah,
Shepherd, 8, and then
10,
Washington
18,
Sundar, almost
8,
9. That's like 8, 9, 17, and
18.
6. That's like
Yeah, it's
23
almost
crores,
20,
23 plus 4,
20,
27
27,
crores for your weakest link,
27 crores. Yeah.
right? 27 crores on your weak link.
And then you didn't count Nicholas Puran. That will be up by 10 crores, 37 crores. Which means they've spent half their purse on the weakest link.
Biggest link, right? So that I'm really disappointed. And being in Hyderabad, I mean, I'm from Hyderabad, so it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted them to do well, but at the end, it's okay. Uh, maybe some consolation for me was buying Glenn Phillips. Glenn Phillips actually,
No, Glenn
it,
Phillips was what pissed you off. Then you were telling why did they buy Nicholas Puran if
Nicholas
they could
Pura
get Glenn
exactly. But it's okay. I mean, just like you, after looking back, I was kind of okay with Glenn Phillips because he's an all-rounder. By saying all-rounder, I mean all-rounder. He can keep. He's a really good outfielder. He can
Yeah.
do bat well, and he's a handy bowler as well,
Yeah.
right? Handy can give you 1 or 2 overs. So, in fact, if you don't go by the price, for me, in terms of more stability in batting, I would play, someone like Glenn Phillips in the place of Romario Shepherd. Don't go by the price tag. Just look at the team balance. Go for. I know there's no hitter. Then if you have Glenn Phillips, you can play Glenn Phillips at 5 and then bring in Abdul Samad to 6. Some kind of finisher because Glenn Phillips can play both the roles because I don't trust how well Puran. If Puran, if he
Yeah.
doesn't tick off well, then bring in Glenn Phillips. That's one thing, and of course, yeah. Obviously, SRH always does that well, and you have to give it to them, even though they don't win championships and all. Is the bowling? Forget about spin, but pace bowling actually looks decent, when compared to
But
other
no,
teams.
but then don't you think they're a little bit light in the pace bowling department? You have only two
I don't think
pacers.
so. I don't think so. Especially after buying someone like Sean Abbott and Marco Janssen,
No.
uh,
In the playing 11, in the playing 11,
playing
I'm
11,
telling you,
yes,
you have
yeah, playing
only
11.
two
That's what.
pacers. Uh, I
Coming to the
think
next
there's
thing, they might, or maybe if they feel they need that extra pace, or the extra bounce, maybe instead of Romario Shepherd, they can play Marco Jensen or maybe Sean Abbott, who can bat a
I
bit.
I don't think Shreyas Gopal plays here because you
True.
can't remove Washington Sundar, you
Sundar.
can't remove Abdul Samad. It's like a coach is deciding places based on what is the price tag. Should I remove him or not?
Yeah, yeah, true. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe we're talking like this, but this team might end up doing well. What if
Yeah,
Nicholas
yeah, yeah,
Puran really has a good
I mean,
season?
titles are not
Yeah.
one
Exactly.
idea of.
See, this the whole team balance. As I was talking about Puran, why was I really angry because the whole team balance now revolves around Nicholas Puran, right?
Yeah,
I
Nicholas
mean,
Puran
if
exactly.
imagine Nicholas Puran having a really nice season. Kian Williamson will obviously give you at least 400 runs in a season,
Yeah,
350 to
four five
400,
hundred runs.
right? And if
Yeah,
Nicholas Puran bats well, and that kind of takes a pressure of youngsters like Abdul Samad and Abhishek Sharma,
yeah,
so
yeah.
and if they can do well, and the bowling, yeah, bowling it doesn't look that bad as well. Washington Sundar, Bhuvi, Imran Malik. Backup they have
Maybe
got. Sorry, yeah.
maybe I think you can play as Sean Abbott at number 9. Abbott is a really good power hitter.
But,
Like
but
a
in that
couple of
case, you have
seasons.
to get rid of a foreign player, and Markram and Kian Williamson, Nicholas Puran. Those three are fixed. Maybe you can play Abhishek Sharma in
Uh,
opening with Rahul Tripathi, and in place of Markram, you can bring it in Sean
no,
Abbott
no,
down
I,
the order.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna drop Romario Shepherd. So I don't think. But then having Sean Abbott really, it increases your
Yeah,
balance
maybe
because
that's what. Maybe they can drop Aden Markram.
yeah, I
Send Abhishek
mean,
Sharma as opener, and instead of
yeah,
Abhishek Sharma, you can play in Sean Abbott. You know,
yeah,
yeah. They have got options. Obviously, they have got backup options. They have got different plans. Plan A, Plan B. That's what you look for when you go to auction, right? Just
yeah.
if one doesn't
But
work out,
but then they're banking a lot on Umran Malik, who
then
is
not just Umar Malik. They're banking a lot on their Indian players. A lot. A lot of other teams bank a lot. The core will be the Indians, but they bank a lot on the foreign to
yeah,
players,
yeah,
bring the next
I mean,
player.
especially the pace bowlers. If you see, every team in the IPL has got a foreign pacer in there, a good foreign pacer in there. So
Yeah, but I mean, for me, this space attack doesn't look that bad as well. I mean, of course, you may not say it's not the world-beating pace
yeah,
attack, but it's
because
not.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar again, you don't know how what kind of form is in. Is
Yeah,
he
but
the
but
old Bhuvneshwar Kumar and stuff
exactly,
like
but
that?
it doesn't look that bad to me. I say that because of the backup options they've got. They've
Yeah,
got Natarajan. Of course, he's coming back from an injury. I understand, but you know the kind of Yorkers he can bowl if he gets back to
yeah.
form, right?
I
Marco
actually
Jansen, Sean
wanted
Abbott.
him. I actually wanted MI to buy Natarajan because Bumrah, Natarajan, and then Archer coming back. The opposition teams will not play the game at all.
And even a backup for Umran Malik would be Karthik Tyagi, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Who again is a really quick bowler, right? So
yeah,
in terms of bowling, actually they're well stacked up. They can do well as always. As you said
yeah.
for MI, SRH is continuing their same old strategy of being a
Same
proper
old
bowling
tradition of
team,
bowling
being
team.
a
Yeah,
bowling
but
team.
then if you look at it that way, you're right. Actually, after the auction, we thought Emma and SRH are not that good. But if you analyze it again, if you
Yeah.
reflect on it, this is not at all a bad team. This actually looks a good
Yeah, I
team.
mean, we
This
just can't.
this is
Of course,
covered
this
actually.
season, yeah, tournament might most probably happen only in Mumbai, Mumbai or Pune or over there. But
I have a little bit
the
of
next,
smile on my face.
yeah, but the
Mumbai, yeah,
next two seasons, not bad. They have got a pretty much bowling team. You don't have always have to, need to have world beating batters, right? Even if you have really good bowlers, and SRH
yeah,
have proven that.
yeah.
But let's see, as usual, Nicholas Puran the key. Nicholas Puran
Maybe
and Kian
play Puran
Williamson.
at 5. Maybe play Puran at 5 and play both the youngsters, one above him and one below him.
Maybe, yeah, they can
That
sandwich
could
Puran
increase.
between those
Yeah,
two.
actually,
Yeah,
that would actually help them. Yeah,
yeah. But
that would
as
be.
usual, as you come, always talk about captains. One good thing. There's one thing that
Yeah,
SRS
Kane
really ticks the box
Williamson,
is Kane Williamson as a
one
captain.
of the top captains in the
Top
IPL. I would rate
captains.
him in the top three
Yeah,
captains.
yeah.
Says for me, it's Dhoni, it's Rohit Sharma, and then Kane Williamson for me.
Yeah, he has done well. Even though when Warner wasn't really doing well, he took the
Yeah,
captaincy from
I mean,
him. And Kian Williamson, he's not that kind of a player where pressure gets him. You all know, right? I mean,
yeah,
come on,
yeah,
it's Kian Williamson. He's been in for years. So yeah, all in all, okay. Yeah, they've done okayish. I would have been really happy if maybe overspent at few players. You would say, but yeah, it's okay.
yeah.
All in all,
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, hindsight is always a good thing to look at, but that is not where you live in, right?
yeah, yeah, true.
So, on and all, it's a very good team for me, I would say. They've continued their traditions and they've done well than what most people actually thought at the end of the auction. So,
Yeah. So moving on to the next team, the team where you got more excited by the by what do you call that? That by the guy sitting on the table rather than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rather than
yeah.
them. It's Rice and Royals.
Exactly. Whoever was bidding, he was coming in the middle of the bid and rising. I mean, they had 9 crores purse left, and they had bought only 15 players back then, and then they were bidding for Tim David at 8 crores. I didn't understand that logic.
Yeah, coming to Rice and Royal squad, their retentions: Sanju Samson, Josh Butler, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Three top
Uh,
order batsmen, a wicket keeper done, captain done, and even though they had three top order batsmen and Yashasvi
yeah.
Jaiswal, they went after their particle.
And that too at 8.8 crores didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make absolute sense to me. I mean,
Yeah.
this brings me back to this question. If you're going 8.8 for Devdutt Padikkal, why
No,
couldn't you
wait,
go?
wait. I think David particle was around 7.8. Yeah,
Yes, and I
8.8.
mean it's around
7.75. Yeah, yeah. Round
round
of 8
about
crores.
that.
Yeah.
Round about that. If you're going for Devdutt Padikkal, you wanted a left-hander. Why couldn't they've gone for Ishan Kishan for 16, 17 crores? It's just 7, 8 crores. Again, hindsight.
Yeah.
Devdutt Padikkal came much before, and yeah. So
But looking at this players, Sanju Samson, Butler, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Padigal, whom do you think is going to open?
Actually, Rajasthan Royals, interestingly, I mean, you have the breaks in the options and in the auction, and then the TV channel guys they speak to the owners, right?
Hmm.
They were telling that Sanju Samson will bat at 4 for them,
Yeah.
and then Devdutt Padikkal will actually open with Yashasvi Jaiswal, and then they expect Butler to be at 3. I think this
I
is
mean,
what they said. I mean, you could make out from what they
yeah,
said
yeah.
in that.
Yeah, but I would say, in fact, much better would be, you know, maybe send Butler up top because, I mean,
Because
play
I
someone
think
of
because I
either.
don't think neither of Jaiswal or Padikkal can bat out of the power play. They don't have that power,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's why it's such a stupid decision because Jaiswal and Padikkal are exactly the similar kind of players, right?
Yeah, true. Or maybe they're just looking at Yashasvi Jaiswal as a backup to Padikkal.
I mean, come on, Yashasvi Jaiswal is a retained player, so
Okay, yeah, true. So whom do you
and
think is going to open? I really want them to open with Butler, but I don't know.
no, I don't think that's possible because Padikkal at 3, I don't think Padikkal can. Because at 3, okay, if he comes in at 20 for 1 in the fourth over, Padikkal can bat. But what if he comes in the 18th over where you have to go at 150 strike rate? Padikkal
Mhm.
doesn't have that game. It's almost like you're having sort of the clones of Parthiv Patel coming in, right? Parthiv Patel doesn't bat. When Parthiv Patel was playing at MI, we were like, hit till the 6 overs, but after the 6 over, you're cheering for Parthiv Patel to get out. You don't want him playing. The longer he plays after sixth over, the more chances of your team losing. So that is what it looks like. 4 is Sanju Samson. Number 5 for me. Would you
Shimran
play?
Hetmeyer?
Yeah,
Shimran
Shimron
Hetmeyer?
Hetmar. Yeah,
Yeah, because
at
they
that
have
price.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at that price, I
Hetmeyer
think
at 8.5 crores, so I think they have to play
he
Shimran
has to
Hetmeyer.
play Simran Hetmar. They're expecting a lot. I mean, Simran Hetmar 8.5. It's not wrong to give Nicholas Puran 10 crores. because,
That's true. That's one way of looking at it. True. Yeah.
because at least Puran is a very very good player. He's a gun fielder in the outfield. Actually, he's very good.
But Shimran hasn't he done well for Delhi last season? I can't remember
No, he has
much.
been average. His Simran Hetmar strike rate. People think Simran Hetmar is an absolute banger of the ball, but his strike rate has been 126 for Delhi average strike rate last year. If you
Oh.
look at the stats,
Oh.
so
Okay.
126,
Uh-huh.
130 is not in IPL standards.
Yeah.
It's nothing, right? You're not a wow
True.
player. So I was also a bit surprised by it, but his average strike rate was around about that. So
Yeah. So number
I think
six,
at 6, I think
Riyan Parag. Oh
Jimmy
wow,
Neesham,
that's a nice call. Okay.
Jimmy Neesham has to play there. I think because
And not
people
Riyan Parag
underrate.
because Riyan Parag also I think they went after him and of
They
almost
went
four
for
crores.
they went for Riyan Parag, but yeah, I think Riyan Parag
Maybe
plays there,
Riyan
and then
Parag or Jimmy Nation. Yeah, we don't know because
no,
they've
no,
got
I think
that.
you can play both. Can you? Butler, Hetmeyer, Jimmy Neesham. No, I think
And
Parag.
they just have one foreign player that's Trent Bolt because their bowling is
Yeah,
actually,
eight
yeah, I think they
eight
can
point
play
eight
both. They
crores.
can play both Jimmy Neesham and then Riyan
Yeah,
Parag or
they can play. It will be exactly four. Yeah, I think six will be Riyan Parag and seven will be Jimmy Neesham.
Jimmy Neesham. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And one bowler is Trent Bolt.
I think the four bowlers are actually, it's
Yeah,
like
actually they're picked almost. It's Ashwin, the
yeah, they pick
next.
themselves. Yeah, Ashwin, Trent
Yeah,
Boult, Prasidh Krishna, 10 Cruz, and then Chahal.
Chahal. Yeah, but then I would actually play Navdeep Saini over
Prasidh Krishna.
Prasidh Krishna. Actually, yeah, and Navdeep Saini is a more complete bowler than Prasidh Krishna. I mean, he was at RCB. You should know more about him.
Yeah, he is, but off late, Prasidh Krishna has been doing well, right? I mean, in the power play and kind of the middle overs. So maybe they're just looking at the recent form. Maybe, yeah. Navdeep Saini, yeah, not a bad backup option. Because even for
I
RCB,
mean,
the end of the last season, like he wasn't doing that great, even because Siraj completely took over. Initially, it
yeah,
was Navdeep Saini and then Siraj, but then Siraj kind of took over. So,
but Navdeep
uh,
Saini can bowl in that 140s, right? Not in the mid 140s, but 141, 142. Can
yeah,
Prasidh
but
Krishna bowl in the 140s? I'm not sure actually.
that doesn't matter. They paid 10 crores for Prasidh Krishna. Anything else?
That's what matters, right?
Yeah,
I mean, as a coach, I think you'll have to memorize the prices as well.
that's
10
true. You
crores
have
have
to.
to play.
You have to. But
So I'll
one thing is
practice.
like it looks a balanced side, actually, except for this top, the opening pair, I would say,
I think the
Yashasvi
opening pair
Jaiswal.
lacks variety because it's not a left-hand right-hand combination.
Yeah,
Because almost all of the teams have a left-hand right-hand combination at the top, right?
yeah, true.
Uh,
Left hand, right hand, that's one variety, and the other thing is the style of play. I mean,
yeah,
you
similar kind
need
of.
you need someone like see Rohit Sharma or maybe
Yeah,
attacking player like Quinton Decock or maybe
Quinton de Kock, yeah.
Josh Butler. You need players like them. One
Yeah,
attacking player in the top four, David Warner or maybe Prithvi Shaw can do that role now, right?
yeah,
Because just like what we're talking about Punjab Kings,
yeah,
Dhawan and Mayank Agarwal kind of they play
yeah,
the same strike rate. So Jaiswal and Devdutt Padikkal. One thing maybe they can do is send Butler up top, right?
yeah.
But yeah, or maybe yeah, maybe send Butler up
No,
top, but
no.
yeah,
I mean,
that doesn't work out.
it's almost a kind of Rajasthan Royals. I think 3 4 seasons ago they had both Steve Smith and Rahane, and both had to play because they were senior players, and you were literally hiding them in the lineup. There were
Hmm.
places when Rahane was sent at number 7, right?
Hmm.
So with Padikkal and Jaiswal, and also I think Jaiswal is a bit more attacking than Padikkal, but they can't play out of after the sixth over. And also another thing, instead of Jemmy Nisham, what do you think of Nathan Coulter Nile?
Yeah, maybe. But I just thought of Jimmy Neesham because that brings more stability to the batting. Of course, Nathan Coulter can tonk the ball as well. Yeah, I'm not denying that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
uh,
I think Jimmy Neesham is better on the batting front and
batting
is
form,
kind
yes,
of
yeah.
a part-time bowler. But Nathan
Because
Coulter Nile is
as we discussed, we are preparing sides for this season, right? And mostly
yes,
this season the matches might be in Mumbai and all those
Mumbai.
batting tracks, right? So you need that extra bit of batting because their tail, it's like a tale of two halves, not tail, but
Yeah,
yeah, the tale of two halves, like the
yeah, two
top,
halves exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right. I mean, you see the top five or yeah, top five. No one bowls in the top five,
Yeah. No
right? And
one
the
bowls.
bottom four, no one bats in the bottom four. So I think
One.
Jimmy Neesham should bat there, or else the tail really gets long,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I think Jimmy Neesham could be the connection between both. But then this is that's an excellent point you made. I think this could be a big, a big loophole that no one bowls in the top four, top five, no
Yeah,
top six. Actually, no one bowls.
yeah.
Riyan
Maybe
Parag
Riyan
has
Parag
to
gives
bowl.
you a bit one or two overs, but yeah. I understand your point. He's not a
That
reliable bowler. Yeah, he hasn't bowled day in day out.
those 1 2 overs even we can bowl. What is the necessity of Riyan Parag going up there and playing?
Or maybe
So
Riyan
yeah,
Parag has used his chances. Last time he was doing some those kind of
yeah.
celebrations.
But I think this could be a big problem for Rajasthan Royals going forward. That none of your top six, bowl. I think no other team has this problem, right? That
Yes,
none
true.
of your top six bowl and none of your
Look
okay
at look at the
the
all
bottom.
rounders they have got. The all rounders they have got are Riyan Parag, Jimmy Neesham, and Anunay Singh and Shubham Garwal. And I'm not going to sit here and act as if I know all the players. I haven't heard those names before. Okay. So I haven't heard of those names much before. But yeah, but actually even backup they have got good backups. Like for example, Rassi van der Dusen, nice batsman. Daryl Mitchell,
Yeah,
he's actually a
yeah,
good player.
listen. He's a good all rounder. I've heard a bit of him in that New Zealand setup. But then in that New Zealand setup, everyone one is an all rounder. Everyone is a wicket keeper. At least seven people can do wicket keeping in that New Zealand setup.
You know what? Daryl Mitchell was actually playing at number 4 and number 5, and one match they have just sent him as an opener. He clicked well, and that's it. From that point, and he's an all rounder.
Yeah,
Daryl Mitchell is
he's
an
an
all
all.
rounder who opens the batting.
Yeah,
How
he can
often do
even
you
keep
see?
also. I think he
Yeah,
can
I
even
mean,
keep also.
how often do you see all rounders opening the batting? Right. So Daryl Mitchell can open, and is a pace bowling. Medium pace all rounder.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe if
This
Jimmy Neesham doesn't work out on slowish tracks, maybe they can try, or maybe they
uh,
can simply bat
play
Daryl
Quinton
Mitchell.
actually
Yeah,
on slowest stacks because Jimmy Neesham actually he was with the MI
MI
last
setup.
season,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know quite a bit of him. He loves to bowl cutters. So last season when we played on slowest tracks, uh, we played Jimmy Neesham a lot actually. Bowls very good cutters. And there were instances where on slowest tracks you played both Coulter-Nile and Jimmy Neesham, and both of them were bowling cutters in back of the hand deliveries, and they were almost unplayable. So I think Jimmy Neesham can be handful in on slowest tracks.
Hmm. So yeah, so that's a squad. I feel pretty balanced, right? They've
Yeah,
got
but
good
then
backups.
but then and another point about this Rajasthan squad is that you seeing it, you get a sense that they exactly. I mean, Sangakkara exactly knows whom they want in the squad because none of the top five bowl and none of their top four bat. So you exactly have a feeling of a squad who know that the roles perfectly well, and none. I mean, one doesn't need to intrude into the other. But
Yeah.
then where this backfires is if a Chahal is having a bad day, then where do you find those extra 2 3 overs? Ashwin is having a bad day. Where do you
Exactly.
find those extra
That's a
two three
downside of
overs?
not having any bowlers in
Yeah,
your,
yeah,
or
yeah.
not any
And that
overs in your
always
top five.
happens. And that always happens in T20s, right?
True. True.
So that's a big downside.
But you don't know, but one thing where I'm happy about, or as I always say, maybe in terms of spin options, they're
Yeah,
really well stacked up. Two of
yeah.
India's quality spinners, right? Ashwin and
I mean, two of
Ashwin and
world's premier spinner. You could say two
spinners,
of
yeah.
world's premier
Ashwin
spinners
and
are.
Chahal, both of them over there. And
uh,
also, I'm looking forward to Ashwin, as it was on Twitter. Ashwin and
yeah,
Josh Butler marketed him.
yeah, just
So,
Butler. Yeah,
and one more thing I
that's
would like to talk about, Rice and Royals, as I always talk about for every team, is
yeah.
captaincy. I mean,
Yeah.
Sanju Samson has been the captain like for the past 2 years, I understand, but
Uh,
he hasn't really proven himself that much as captain because captain really, you know
he'll,
what a
yeah,
captain is per side, yeah. But
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
Sanju Samson is a captain, not a leader yet.
He's not a leader,
He's not a
exactly.
leader,
It's
he's a
like a
captain.
Jason Holder or an MS Dhoni or a
Yeah,
Rohit
yeah.
Sharma.
So
It's
I think it'll even be a huge season for Sanju Samson as well because look at him, look at Sanju Samson's place in
uh,
the Indian setup. Right, at
yeah,
one point we all thought he had this potential, he had this potential, he has a potential, and
yeah,
we saw that, but he never really lived up to it. Even in the
yeah,
last year's IPL,
yeah.
Sharjah, he really scored 2 3 absolute blinders of innings at Sharjah and Abu Dhabi, and after that he was gone.
He
So
was gone. Yeah,
consistency has been the issue for Sanju Samson for a long time. I think that will be the key now as well. And added to that captaincy. So I don't know. I'm looking forward. I don't treat Sanju Samson that good as a captain. I mean, like,
I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying
and
he's a bad captain, but yeah. How about having Josh Butler as a captain? Because I feel Josh Butler, in fact, is a much better leader than Sanju Samson.
yes,
What do you think
and
of having Butler as a captain?
yeah, I that's a good thing. But does Josh Butler actually have experience in captaincy? Has he led England in the past? Does he lead his franchises in other leagues? I don't know. Josh Butler lacks that experience sort of a thing in captaincy. But also another thing about Sanju Samson for you. Do you think as a player, leave captaincy apart, but as a player, do you think Sanju Samson is still a talent or has he proven himself? What do you think?
Uh, for me, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sanju Samson hasn't proven because he has. See, proving yourself is one thing, but making sure that you can stay there and do well is kind of the only key thing over
Yeah,
there. Is for me, only key thing is consistency, right?
yeah.
Consistency is what separates normal players from the great
From
players.
the yeah, yeah.
Look at Ishan Kishan. Wasn't Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson came way before Ishan Kishan? Like
Yeah, yeah,
maybe 2 years
yeah,
before Ishan Kishan,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Right? And then Ishan Kishan are just that's consistency.
yeah,
So I don't know what's the issue with Sanju because his strokes are really good, right? He
yeah,
bats well. He has got all the shots in the track, also all the shots in the book. He can and he can switch. One really good thing I like about Sanju Samson, he can
yeah,
switch gears very easily. Someone like
yeah,
I if you don't think I'm comparing it to someone really great, but still like Kevin Peterson, you
yeah,
know, you lose quick wickets, he'll just rotate the strike, he'll stay around, but then all of a sudden he'll just hit the ball hard. He can
yeah,
switch the gears. If he does that out of that too, this is a long season now, mind you, 18
yeah,
games, right? At least
yeah.
if he does that for around 8 to 9 games, then Rajasthan Royals should be in a good position.
Yeah, yeah. Because when I see Sanju Samson, lot of talent. See the amount of time he has to play bowlers who even bowl at 145, 150. He is
Yeah, he gets into
just looks
position
like
early. He judges the length of the
early.
game.
Yeah, early. Yeah, but then with Sanju Samson, I think it's still a talent, and I always feel that talent it opens the first door for you, maybe the second door, but I think after that, it all depends on your attitude towards how you approach the game and stuff. And with Sanju Samson, more often than not, he's got good starts in almost all of the matches. He's getting good starts, but then he's throwing the wickets away, irresponsibility, all of that has come into his attitude and his. I think that's one of the reasons why he has not been able to achieve that consistency stuff.
Hmm. Nice. So, all in all, what do you make of this squad then? Good enough,
Uh,
right?
yeah, I think it's good enough, but it's inflexible for me
Oh yeah, that's true.
because
Yeah, but if their plan A works, as we always say, they should be ready for plan B and plan C. But yeah, I mean, their bowling options are good. The only thing, as we thought about, is no pretty good all rounders. But
yeah,
it's okay,
yeah.
not
I
bad.
mean, how much ever of a good bowler you have, he will be having off
There will
days.
be off days. Yeah, true.
There will be off days, so you have to plan for that. So inflexibility, I think, will be the biggest issue
Hmm. So yeah, let's
with
see.
with
Hope
RR.
hope.
Yeah,
Above all, really hope Sanju Samson does well this
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
But
So
RR have entertained us in the auction a lot, right?
oh man. Oh
The
yeah. Yeah. They
entertainment
have.
was
They
just
have.
next level. Yeah.
Guy used to like at the end of every bid, he just used to come up, enter, and
The auctioneer was in shock. How is someone coming up at the end of a bid 8.85 crores?
that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. So going down to the next team.
Which
Yeah. I think
yes,
we're good to
yes.
move on. Anything else about RR? I think we covered everything, right?
Nothing,
Like
nothing. Yeah, nothing. Right. I think we have analyzed it. What is the next team? I'm actually excited to see what is the next team.
I don't have the
Wow,
first
Royal
team on the name sheet
Challengers
here,
Bangalore. Yeah,
right? I don't have the first team on the name sheet because I already wrote this down here because I felt that apart, yeah, along with Aiden Markram,
yeah.
Faf was
I
one
think
of kind
Faf.
of. I
Yeah,
think it's a nice buy,
yeah.
Faf to Bessie. Yeah, before I
Faf to,
think, just
and I
give me a
think
second.
he'll
I'll
be.
just scroll on to the yeah, carry on. I'll just scroll on to the
Yeah,
RCB squad.
yeah, but I think Faf will be the captain for RCB. There's no doubt about it. The
He has to, yes.
reason RCB went 7 crores for Faf is, and I think it's an excellent buy. I think in a way you could relate the buy of Faf to the buy of David Warner as well. 6.5 crores, 7 crores. It's Faf at 7 crores for me is an almost a steal for me because he's an excellent fielder. He brings in that level-headedness. Again, whether he'll be captain or not, he's a leader. He brings in that
Exactly,
leadership
exactly,
qualities, and also I think another major reason for picking up Faf is that he's been inside the Chennai setup, which is a winning setup. They won titles. The RCB is desperately looking to win their maiden title. So someone like a Faf being inside that winning machine, I think it will really help raise RCB to the next level.
yeah, just before we finish off about Faf,
Yeah, yeah,
is I mean, is Faf really 37 years old? I mean, like, he doesn't look so, right? I mean, he's what? He
yeah,
looks like he's so fast, gun fielder.
yeah,
Right? At 37-year-old, you'll be like, you'll just do one thing in the game and you move on. But he's
yeah,
not
and
like that.
go right. Yeah.
He's really good with his fielding. So yeah, I think Faf was a really good buy for them.
Yeah, but
And then
some of these athletes, players, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, just a bit off topic. Look
yeah,
at the fitness which he has, so you can't. It's just kudos to their work ethic and stuff.
yeah, true.
Uh,
Yeah.
So Faf, and do you think Virat Kohli opens?
He should open. Virat Kohli
Yeah,
should open because I mean two things. If
yeah,
Virat Kohli is in form, of course,
yeah,
yeah, he should open because you want your best batsman to face most number of
yeah,
balls. And
yeah,
if he's not striking at that level, but still you want Virat Kohli to open because he needs time to strike.
yeah,
So
yeah,
no matter how you look at it, I feel Kohli should open in this because I you might say this kind of the kind of downfall at number three. I
yeah,
understand that,
yeah,
but still they have to go with Kohli and one player that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I think he'll do well at number three.
yeah.
They've
Dinesh
gone
Karthik.
after. No, Dinesh Karthik. I play Dinesh Karthik number five, but they've got a player called Anuj Rawat.
Yeah, he's a very highly rated keeper. He played for Rajasthan, right?
Yeah, he played for
In
Rajasthan.
the
Anuj
last
Rawat.
season, he's very inventive. I see shades of Surya Kumar Yadav and Anush Rawat in terms of the sweeps and stuff he plays, in terms of his inventiveness, innovativeness. So
And Anuj Rawat over there is actually, I don't know. I think Anuj Rawat is a left-handed batsman. He used to open the innings. Okay, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, so the under 19, sorry, being an opener and that too same thing. Just like what we talked about, a young
yeah,
player getting a chance to play with someone like Faf, Virat Kohli. Just imagine
Virat
having
Kohli
Anuj
there.
Rawat at number three. I mean,
Yeah,
not just for RCB, but also just for his personal thing,
yeah, yeah. For
right?
grooming the player, it's
Putting him.
almost
You have
perfect. Yeah,
Faf,
yeah.
Virat
Yeah.
Kohli around you,
You
Glenn
have
Maxwell around
yeah,
you.
you have Faf, Maxwell, Dinesh Karthik. I mean, so it's
So I'm really looking for. I want him to play at number three. I think he will play because he's. They have spent quite amount of time on him. I guess Anuj Rawat around two
yeah,
crores or something.
yeah. Anuj Rawat, yeah, 3.4 crores.
Three
Yeah,
point four crores.
yeah. He's almost like a left-handed Surya Kumar Yadav, left-handed ski.
Yeah. So
Because I've seen a little bit of him and is absolutely very good
and that too,
in
they
terms
need
of
right in the top because you see all right-handers, Faf,
yeah, all
Kohli,
right-handers.
Maxwell,
Yeah,
and
Anuj Rawat. I think
Dinesh
Anuj
Karthik.
Rawat is gonna start actually. Anuj Rawat is gonna
Anuj
start.
Rawat is going to start, and then yeah, number four Maxwell. That obviously, and number five would be Dinesh Karthik.
Dinesh
Right?
Karthik.
Because he
Yeah,
has, yeah, and also Dinesh Karthik, I felt was, of course, in his later stages of his career, but
yeah.
not a bad buy, for the
Yeah,
price
not
I've
at
got
all a
him.
bad buy. And Dinesh Karthik also, suppose if it's uh, 3 for 1 or something, Dinesh Karthik can always come in at number three and also can
Yeah,
stabilize the innings
true.
if it is needed. So
Yes,
Dinesh
exactly.
Karthik, he'll bring in that experience as well. So
Yeah,
Dinesh
and
Karthik,
just like every team has something to look at, I feel this team, uh, maybe that particular number six. I know they are trusting Hasaranga a lot, so we'll place
yeah.
Hasaranga at number
I
six.
mean, even if they're trusting or not, there's 10.75 crores. So
Yeah, as we talked
Asaranga has
about.
to play. Trust and all doesn't come is cheap. The price tag is more expensive.
But really, 10.75 crores for Hasaranga. That's one thing. As an RCB fan, we have seen because that was an interesting pick for me, Hasaranga, because I was discussing with a few of my friends the other
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we were like, okay, when you're ready to spend almost 11 crores on a player,
yeah,
did he really play well for you last season? Yeah, they have spent almost 11 on Harshal Patel. I can
yeah,
understand because yeah, he has
yeah,
performed well, public cup
yeah.
winner. But has Hasaranga really done well last season? No, not that much. Or maybe is he part of your long term plans? I don't think so because if he's really part of your long term plans, you could have retained him, or
Okay,
you'd have given him more chances last season.
okay,
No, they didn't
okay.
play him much when that didn't happen either. But they're just going on his performance in the T20 World Cup,
Yeah,
right? I mean, of
yeah,
course, he has been doing well. Even in Australia recently,
yeah,
he bowled well. He's kind of Sri
yeah,
Lanka's main leggy right now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I understand that. But that was kind of interesting pick for me. Of course, even though but one thing is Hasranga solves that main finisher issue for
Yeah,
SRH.
finisher issue exactly.
Sorry, not sorry, for RCB.
RCB. I think that is one reason why they picked him because he kind of bridges that gap very well from
Mhm.
that sort of
Yeah, they
hitting
always had that issue, right?
position to the lower middle. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
With
Kohli, ABD,
RCB
and after
last
that,
season, as soon as Maxwell and AB got out, the game's over. Right.
true.
That's what teams thought until last season. But so and also I think there are rare kind of players like this, right? Wrist spinners who can bat.
Yeah, very rare. That's true. That's
Very,
kind of
very
very
rare.
very rare
So
for me. Yeah.
I think if Adam Zampa could bat, Adam Zampa could have gone at the same price. So exactly, because I think Adams, if you look in the world, I think Adam Zampa will be in the top three spinners easily, top three leg spinners. Adam
Yeah,
Zampa
and
is
he was
very good.
unsold. I mean,
He
at
was
least for
unsold, yeah.
RCB would at least go for a basic. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
his
basic
base
price.
price.
He was unsold. So I can see the importance of teams thinking that if you're a foreign player and we have to put in excess of 3 4 crores, you really have to be a multi-skill player with just a leg spin or something. Okay, pace we put the money, but as a spinner, you really need to have that multi-skilled.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah,
So number seven, I think they'll go with Maipal Lomror. He has kind of,
yeah,
not a bad option at number
yeah,
four.
yeah.
And then number five, you can go with Shahbaz Ahmed. Like he was part of the
Uh,
setup even the last season as well. Like for RCB, the last two
number
seasons.
seven, number seven, Mahipal Lomror, and number eight. Would you go with Shabazz Ahmad?
Because they've already done with three foreigners up top, right? Like Faf, Maxwell, and Asaranga. And the
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
foreigner, I think, would be Josh Hazlewood because they need someone, who can bowl the middle overs or maybe, help Harshal
I
Patel.
yeah, I mean that is yeah, because I was thinking about Jason Barandov. Jason Barandov gives you that left arm option, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
bowls
Good,
York
good
as
option.
well. But then I just scrolled down to the right and I saw Barandov is 75 lakhs and Josh Hazelwood is 7.75 crores. No way Barandov plays.
Maybe we should form a list of all expensive players. They'll make the playing
Yeah,
11.
expensive players and then just play them. And
This
I
is
mean,
one thing about, yeah. Carry on, go on.
I mean, I don't think this logic makes sense, but then your place is decided by your price. High price, come in. Low price, this is almost like access to that 5 star, 7 star hotel.
That's true. So I think they'll go with Shahbaz Ahmed. That too, he gives us that extra spin option as well.
Yeah. Does
So
Shabazz Ahmad bowl right arm off spin?
Ahmed, I think is that left arm orthodox.
Oh, left arm
Yeah, left arm
orthodox.
orthodox.
Okay, okay. Because I was thinking of Karan Sharma, but then you have Hasaranga, who's a
Yeah,
burst spinner as well.
yeah.
So
Shahbaz Ahmed was part of RCB. He somewhere batted around number seven, the same
number
thing last
seven,
season.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
Maipal Lomro left arm orthodox. But there are no better options I could see over there.
Yeah.
And number nine, obviously, it should be Josh Hazelwood.
Josh
They need
Hazelwood.
someone.
Yeah. And number 10 is Harshal Patel.
Yeah, man. The Pine, they almost. Harshal Patel, two players, they have spent 22 crores. Harshal
Yeah.
Patel and,
Add
man.
Vanindu Hasaranga to that and three players, 32 crores. It's roundabout.
Yeah, and round it up, it'll be Mohammad Siraj. They've retained him as well.
Yeah,
So
of course, Mohammad Siraj. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I think it
all in all,
looks
yeah, it
a
looks
balanced
stable.
squad
Yeah, balanced
actually.
squad. Actually, not bad. They have done well. Faf, Kohli to open, and
Yeah,
yeah, as everyone is saying, and Harsha Bhogle was saying the
yeah,
other day,
yeah,
in
yeah,
that it's all
yeah,
as always. RCB used to think of Kohli and ABD, and unfortunately,
yeah,
there's no OBD, and that's coming to players who are missing. We were talking about Raina initially. ABD
yeah.
is going to be a huge miss from IPL, even
Huge
though
mess. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Uh, I mean, even last season, people say he wasn't that great, but still he scored around 380 runs. Like
Yeah,
380 runs
380 runs.
for a year.
You
That's not a
know,
bad season for any normal
that's
batsman.
yeah, for a normal player, sometimes it could even be a breakthrough season. You're scoring almost near 400 for a normal Indian player. That's a breakthrough season, right?
Yeah, so I'm really sad we're missing ABD, that fielding, captaincy, kind of. I mean, I would say part of leadership
Yeah,
group.
he's just a live wire on the field, and I mean, as a person as well, ABD, that personality,
You
that
know, you
attitude
know,
towards the game.
uh, even if Jasprit Bumrah or Rabada or Archer are
Yeah,
bowling,
yeah.
if I see AB de Villiers batting, I would still be confident that it's okay.
Yeah, I
ABD can
mean,
still hit the ball, this ball for six.
ABD. I think in one of the IPL games, he turned around and swept Jafra Archer for a six. It was
Six, yes,
146.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Game pitch and Archer was like, oh my god.
So yeah, ABD is going to be a huge, huge miss. This not just for IPL. I mean, not just for RCB, but even for the whole IPL as well.
Generally for the whole
Yeah,
IPL, for
huge
the
miss.
youngsters who are in RCB, for example, they would have
Yeah,
got to learn
yeah,
a lot from APT. But then I think Faf has been a very good buy for RCB, because now Faf brings that sense of stability to the team. All of the
Mhm.
people will look at the top of the order, and there's a leader. There is Faf. There is an opener there. So. think RCB have addressed all of the shortcomings from the previous season,
Mhm.
and they have strengthened themselves as well. See, in
And
in
even in
that
terms of
bowling
spin,
line,
I can see over, yeah. I mean,
yeah, spin,
Hazelwood
yeah,
and Siraj. Siraj is actually good as a power play. I know he's not
yeah,
good. He's very bad at the
yeah,
death, but
yeah,
Siraj is good in the power plays, right? And we'll have Josh Hazelwood to chip in the middle and Ashil
yeah,
Patel at death.
yeah.
And Hasaranga and Maxwell. Of course, even Maxwell has done very well last season.
Yeah,
Maxwell was
bowling,
the
yeah,
player
bowling,
of
yeah,
the Maxwell was RCB's best player last season. And when
yeah,
you're
yeah,
playing around 11 crores to a player,
yeah,
he gives 4 overs. I mean, last season he used to bowl 3, 4.
yeah,
So Maxwell Nasranga will give you around
yeah.
seven overs, right? And some around 2, 3 overs from Shahbaz Ahmad, Lomror, and you get
I
10
think
overs from the
Shaba,
other
I
bases.
think I think Shahbaz Ahmad has to bowl all the 4 overs because he goes for 2 point. He has gone for 2.4 crores. See, look at that. Otherwise, I was like, I had a bit of doubt. He has to bowl 4 overs, but why? Yeah, the reason is he gets 2.4 crores.
2.4 overs, yeah.
Oth- Otherwise, why would they pay him so much money, right? At eight, he's not. He's a bowling all rounder, you could say. He's not a top order. I mean, top middle order batsman. He's a bottom middle order batsman. So
Mhm. Yeah, and even coming to that, if you look at I'll just put on the squad on the screen, you can see the
yeah,
backup options. Interesting. Mike Hesson is actually
yeah. I
RCB's
know. He's the
head coach.
RCB director of
Cricket,
sport.
yeah, basically the
Yeah,
head
yeah,
coach part of management.
yeah,
So
yeah,
even he was saying they were pretty happy. Yeah, if you look at the options as well, they got Sherfin Rutherford,
yeah.
as
He's an
maybe a
excellent.
excellent
He's an excellent
backup. He
backup.
said
Yeah,
backup for Hasaranga, right? In
yeah,
case they need a pace bowling all rounder, if
yeah, yeah, yeah,
backup for
yeah.
Hasaranga or maybe Maxwell, and Berendorf a straight backup for Josh Hazelwood.
But David
Similarly,
Wee is the interesting one for me because he's an all-rounder as well. Left
yeah,
arm
David Willey
pacer.
is
He
also
can
left
bowl
arm.
with a new ball. He can bat. He can hit couple of long hits as well.
Right? And even Chama Milind,
Yeah,
Hyderabad pacer, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
said Chama Milind's kind of a backup for someone like
yeah,
Mohammad Siraj or someone who
yeah,
can ball in the power
yeah,
play. Siddharth
yeah.
Kaul, Siddharth Kaul is actually they got decent. Siddharth Kaul is experienced. Even if he can chip in and bowl well in 2, 3 games for them, that's
I think Siddharth Cole is a replay. I mean, backup for Harshal Patel because they're sort of
maybe
similar kind of bowlers. Both have
yeah.
a good back of the hand. But I mean, Harshal Patel only has the back of the hand cutters.
I
That's
was even
another thing.
actually happy when they bought in Finn Allen. Finn Allen was
Yeah.
actually part of the setup even last season when
Okay.
initially they had some other player. Tim Phillips, what's the name? Josh Phillips, yeah. They had Josh
Josh
Phillips. He
Phillips.
got
Yeah.
injured and then
Josh Philippi. Josh Philippi. Yeah.
Josh
Yeah.
Phillips got injured. Then Finn Allen came in. So not a bad option because if
Yeah.
if they feel that number three is a bit weak,
Yeah.
right? And maybe they
Yeah.
can slot in someone like Finn Allen over there,
Nalen.
right? And then instead of Josh Hazelwood, you can give up that spot and play someone like Siddharth
David
Kaul or
V.
yeah,
Yeah.
David V over there. So
Yeah.
so and yeah, before I so what do you think of this? What do you think of the team? Is it okay?
I
Okay,
mean, this
you
is.
right?
I think this is a very stable squad. They've almost filled all the gaps, and I
Mhm.
think they should be a step closer actually to the title now that they've even bought in Faf. Again,
Wow.
like I can't emphasize it more that Faf is coming from that winning machine, so he'll carry on a lot of inputs from there. Transform. I hope he'll transform the attitude of the players as well in the dressing room. So that
Yeah.
is so important, coming from a winning setup. People underrate it, but that really, because once you start winning, you can't stop winning. It's just the first time the trophy, you win it for the first time. That is the difficult thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that is what RCB are looking for.
And for me, all in all, yeah, it's a good side because, and I always look for captains.
Yeah,
Faf, in terms of captaincy, is going to be really great, right, for me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
for the experience he's got, for the way he has led South
yeah,
Africa previously,
yeah, yeah,
really good captain. Also, the leadership group they have got. Look at the
yeah.
leadership group. They've got Faf, they've got Virat
Kohli,
Kohli, they've got
Glenn Maxwell,
Glenn Maxwell, they've got Dinesh Karthik. Glenn
Dinesh
Maxwell
Karthik.
captains his current Big
Yeah,
Bash. Dinesh
yeah,
Karthik was captain of part of the
yeah,
group of KKR and all.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
leadership, they've got perfect combination of experience over there with four
yeah,
really experienced players, and then young players around them like
yeah,
Hasaranga or Harshal
yeah,
Patel, right?
yeah.
So I think it's actually a nice squad. Especially, I'm looking forward to uh, Faf's captaincy in IPL. Like we
Captaincy.
never got to see that firsthand in IPL,
That
right?
is true. That is true.
Yeah, we
That
never
is
got to
true.
see that firsthand in
Yeah,
IPL.
yeah.
He's pretty good captain. He's very nice cricketer,
Yeah,
Faf du
yeah,
Plessis.
yeah.
And Dinesh
I mean,
Karthik as
but
well. Dinesh Karthik for me is actually a good buy because you need that kind of experience in the lower mid order. Of course, he has transformed himself into a finisher now, Dinesh Karthik.
A
So
finisher, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
think I think one advantage with Dinesh Karthik as well. Sometimes as a finisher, you play as a finisher, but then you'll have to come into situations where you're what 100 for 4 or something, and you have 10 overs to go. So Dinesh Karthik has it in him to bat through, build the innings a bit, and then go berserk. So I think
mhm.
in that way as well, Dinesh Karthik offers you something extra. He covers one or two bases.
Think of any loopholes for this team. I'll go first. For me,
Yeah,
I would say that that particular thing of 6, 7, and 8 after Dinesh Karthik. Of course, they have bought Hasaranga for a huge price,
yeah,
but sometimes,
yeah,
as we all know, the price tag can hit you
yeah,
down. At the same time,
yeah,
what if Hasaranga doesn't do well, or because they're banking on Hasaranga to actually giving that finishing role, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hasaranga, Mahipal Lombror. So they are not that reliable.
Fearsome. Yeah,
More than
they're
fearsome,
not.
I would
Yeah,
say not reliable as well. Exactly,
yeah, yeah,
because we haven't seen enough of Hasaranga. He's been doing
yeah,
well last 1 year. I understand
yeah,
that, but
yeah,
so if there's any weak link, I'll see for that team. That's that finishing role, as usual for RCB. Yeah, of course, their plan was to address that to bring in Hasaranga.
yeah.
So maybe if they succeed in that, yeah, if Hasaranga does well, then that's really great, right?
Yeah, I
So
think RCB has even tried Tim David as well. I think, right, and they've tried a lot of finishers to fill in that position.
yeah, yeah, they have
They,
had Tim David. They tried so many. They tried Dan Christian. They thought
yeah,
if
Dan
they
Christian.
they thought if you're getting Dan Christian with experience, they can do well last season.
Yeah, and
But
also Dan
even
Christian
that
is
didn't work out.
good at the death and all.
Yes,
So,
yes,
but
yes.
it
So
didn't
they thought Dan
work out.
Christian can kind of help them, but even that didn't. So now this season they are going to Hasaranga. So that keeps changing every year. They kind of break the bank, or like kind of.
Yeah, yeah, but one thing about RCB is okay, this season, okay, they played Mumbai or somewhere, we don't know the venue, but generally they'll have to play at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And at that stadium, how good a bowling attack you have, you will concede 190, 200, right?
I
So,
you know
does this lower middle order has it to finish those kind of high scoring games?
I really wish, first of all, RCB moves out of Chinnaswamy. I think all the, I mean, see, of course, as a fan base, fans would be having that connection with the stadium, right? That's our stadium. But if RCB really wants to win anything, I really wish they kind of move into out of that, at least to a bigger stadium, right? Like I remember uh, some like few years back, like Dale Steyn when he was playing for RCB, he really
Yeah.
used to bowl absolute nice balls. Oh, sorry,
Nice
Dale Steyn
balls.
used to bowl for Deccan Chargers.
SRH, yeah, Deccan Chargers, yeah.
SRS Deccan Chargers, but even edges used to fly off. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
that's
And
basically
Umesh Yadav
footballers.
used to bowl for you. Umesh Yadav used to bowl for you.
Good bowlers may not have much value if the grounds are short.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you might say, irrespective of the conditions, batsmen do well. So similarly, even bowlers also should do well, irrespective of the conditions. But come on, man, batsmen, even the bats have become thicker now,
yeah,
right?
thicker now, yeah.
Yeah,
And also, stadium
I mean,
is
if
smaller. I don't agree with that. At least the size of the stadium should be big to give
yeah, true.
protection
But
to
at least
bowlers.
there should be some fair chance, right? So in that sense, I don't know. We have to see. But all in all, yeah, I'm excited with RCB this season. They have done okay, and
I mean, actually, I was thinking about this. Kudos to Chahal. How did he bowl there at Chinnaswamy Stadium for all this while? I think RCB would have asked Chahal for retention, but he would have just, put both his hands together and said, "Please don't bid for me in the auction, and please don't retain me. I'm getting out
I
of
have
there."
heard of I have seen so many RCB fans who are pissed off with the management
Yeah,
uh, for not going after Chahal. I mean,
yeah,
if you look at it in one way, to be honest, in one
yeah,
way, I would say they're taking a gamble over here. Their auction strategy, I was surprised because they didn't go after a proven spinner like Chahal,
yeah,
right? But you're going after someone who's not proven. You didn't give him enough chances like Hasaranga, and you're
yeah,
paying 11 crores to him. So I don't know how much of that is going to work, right?
yeah.
And okay, fine. Do you have a backup option for Hasaranga? I don't know. Maybe David Willey. I don't know how good David
Maybe
Willey is
is Karan Sharma. I think Karan Sharma is the backup option for Asaranga.
as a spinner. Yes,
Both,
but
both.
how about a finisher?
No, no,
I
no,
don't.
no, no. Both do the same thing. Karan Sharma has played as a finisher for Deccan Chargers in the past. He has played for MI also 2 seasons, and yeah.
Mhm.
So Karan Sharma, generally, you could say he plays the Kunal Pandey role. He's that kind of a player. Maybe not at that level, but he
Yeah,
does that.
maybe Sherfin with the foot getting some game time. If it really doesn't uh, work well, maybe instead of Josh Hazelwood, they can actually play Sherfin with the foot, an all rounder.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they really feel they need more finishing, then I feel they can go off with Sherfin Rutherford instead of Josh Hazelwood so that he can
I
bat deep.
think if they bat deep, they'll be giving away runs, right? I mean, they'll be giving away that many runs. So you can't chase 230, 240 at Chinnaswamy, right? However good the batting pitch is. That is a drawback over there. So,
That's true. That's true. So yeah, all in all,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so I think we can move on to the next side. We have spent
Yeah, I
enough time
think,
on this.
we'll move on to the next side. And what is
The
the
next,
next side? What is the surprise
there's
you've
just two
got
more
for
teams
us?
left, but yeah, it's just uh, oh, what? I guess something wrong with this. Yeah, there you go.
I think there are three more teams actually, uh, because
Should
we
we
haven't looked
refresh?
at Kolkata, right?
Oh
We
yeah, we
have the
haven't looked at
Gujarat
KKR yet. Yeah, yeah, we
Titans,
haven't looked at KKR yet.
Chennai
Yeah, yeah,
Super
yeah.
Kings, and
Uh-huh.
Kolkata Knight
Yeah,
Riders. Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Chennai Super Kings, I think they've just like Mumbai, just like SRH, they've just gone with the same template that has won them the championships, won them a lot of championships, right?
Wait, let me just scroll through the
Yeah,
CSK thing, right? Yeah, CSK.
I,
Is it okay? Fine. I'll give you a minute. Please
yeah.
look at that CSK squad, right? And tell me if you find any changes. Like if you find anything really, you know.
I mean, do you even need to waste a minute to find if anything changes? I think it's the same squad. But then what really helped CSK was that they found Ruturaj Gaikwad in the last season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they had the intention to groom Ruturaj. I mean, groom young players. CSK are not exactly known for that, right? But Ruturaj Gaikwad played so well that they couldn't leave him out of the squad on occasions last season. So
Wow.
I think
But who's going?
they
Whom do you think will open with Rituraj Gaikwad right now?
interesting one. I think Robin Uthappa. Robin Uthappa.
Okay,
Uh,
but
because I don't find a place for Robin Uthappa.
how about Ambati
Anywhere
Raidu?
else.
Like someone like Ambati Raidu over there.
Ambati Raidu, I think Ambati Raidu plays at a number three, number four. I mean that kind of a role actually, Ambati Raidu,
Mm-hmm.
because Ambati Raidu is a better finisher than Robin Uthappa. Ambati
Oh
Raidu
wow.
is a devastating finisher. Ambati Raidu plays spin exceptionally well. I think
Mm-hmm.
Ambati Raidu is one of the best players of spin. Maybe he has decreased a bit as his career has gone on, but I think even right now, Ambati Raidu is one of the best players of spin in this country.
Wow, that's kind of
Especially,
that's that's just a huge say, like when you say he's the best player of.
yeah, I mean he's one of the best players because the way I mean he has not got his chance in the Indian team, his career we all know about it. But I've always thought Ambati Raidu, the way he goes down the track to the spinners, always plays it straight. I've,
Mm-hmm.
Ambati Raidu is up there, so I think they'll play Ambati Raidu at number four, and I think they'll play Moin Ali at number three, which they've done on quite a few occasions.
Moeen Ali, I think Moeen Ali is kind of their new Suresh Raina, I would say, someone like
Yeah,
like
Suresh Raina,
yeah,
exactly, exactly. I think.
they wanted to take up that role of Suresh
Yeah,
Raina.
take up that. I think he has played that role a bit, right, in the last season.
Yeah, yeah, he has done everything they have asked him to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean Moeen Ali, like he can bat, he can kind of
And the
he
bowling
bowls
of Moin Ali is very underrated, but my God, I think he's a classical off spinner. The way he bowls, he just loops the ball up, which MS Dhoni absolutely loves.
true, true, yeah.
So I think for me, they play Moin Ali at three, and then they play Ambati Raidu at four, and
Oh yeah.
then the boss comes in at number five.
if there's ever a much, what do you say, a team that revolves around the captain, a team that belongs to one player, a team that
Yeah.
belongs to a guy, as you say in some movies, the kingmaker, or
Yeah.
something like that. I
Yeah,
think it's
the
Dhoni.
kingmaker. Yeah, it's Dhoni. Yeah, I mean, literally looking at the team, looking at the stats, you might find. I mean, especially in the last few years, even when they won trophies, you'll find Dhoni not as much on the top, but then
Mhm.
literally Dhoni is the one who is behind the scenes, who's running the show. It's just the result has been produced by the players. Dhoni is kind of like a kingmaker, like you pointed out. So
Actually, going back to that, before you finished off, going back to that opener slot that you're talking about,
Yeah,
after the auction, the CSK management was talking very highly. They wanted to try actually Devon Conway as an opener. I mean, how about
yeah,
looking at
Devon
Devon Conway
Conway.
as an opener, right? Because uh, CSK is such a side. I
Uh,
mean, you never know about Dhoni. We are talking about Devon Conway, Rahul the Who knows? He might one day suddenly bring him Shivam Dubey as an opener.
Yeah,
You never
Shivam
know.
Dubey. You never know. But you
Yeah.
actually Moeen Ali has played in that opening position a lot for he plays it for his county side in England, and so
Yeah, but
you
actually
never know.
they look at. I feel they look at Moeen Ali at number three.
Yeah, number three. Yeah,
Right? But I feel maybe Devon Conway at number two is not. That's actually a good one because uh, of his. He does he keep he even keeps right. He keeps he
yeah.
was kind
Devon
of
can.
highest.
I mean,
Yes,
all of the West New Zealand
New
team
Zealand
keeps. So
keeps. Yeah. Was Moeen Ali over there, and number four we're
Ambati
looking at
Raidu.
Ambati Raidu,
Ambati
right?
Raidu
Yeah.
has to come. Ambati Raidu has to come. Yeah. Ambati Raidu and then Dhoni. I actually thinking of Devon Conway, but then I thought maybe we'll finish off the squad and look at the number of foreigners there, and then maybe
Oh,
you
okay, fine.
debate
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Devon Conway. So
Mm-hmm.
five is Dhoni and six
It
has to be
has to be
Jet
Jadeja.
Dubai.
Jadeja, yeah,
Six has to
Jadeja.
be Jet
Oh man,
Dubai.
what a
Third
batsman he has
Jadeja.
turned out to be. Like, I
Exactly,
think if
exactly.
season by season, year by year, his batting has
Yeah.
been really improving. Right?
Improvement. Yeah.
He has
Improved.
he
Yeah.
has turned out to be a really, really good batsman.
Yeah, I think it's not a surprise because when he broke through for
Hmm.
Rajasthan, he actually broke through as a batsman and not as a bowler. His batting was very good, but then I
Hmm.
think he started to concentrate on his bowling. He started to get picked into that Indian Test team, one day team as a second spinner and stuff, and his
Hmm.
batting suffered. And then I think now he's again coming back to that. Batting thing is concentrating more on his batting and is becoming better. It's kind of a homecoming for Jadeja. He's coming back to what he actually was. He's actually a batsman.
Hmm. So, whom do you think slots at number seven now?
Number seven is interesting for me. I mean, Dwayne
Dwayne
Bravo.
Bravo?
Dwayne Bravo has to be at number seven.
Do you look at Bravo as definitely not? Obviously, his powers are dwindling. Sad about that. But
But his wallet is not dwindling. They paid 4.5 crores for him, so he'll he'll play in that position for sure.
and then number eight has to be Deepak Chahar for me, right?
Uh,
Because they
yeah,
have.
yeah. I mean,
I don't see a
14.
better
Yeah.
Deepak Chahar.
I mean, you call someone who doesn't know anything about cricket and cover the faces of players and just show him the prices. I think he'll pick almost
The same squad.
six, seven players that we are
Or
picking,
maybe, or
right?
maybe, or how about how many foreigners did we finish by the way? We are done with
There's
okay.
this
Forget about not having Conway over there. It's about Uthappa. Then Moeen
Conway
Ali.
out there. I think this is an interesting one. Dwayne Bravo or Chris Jordan, because they have paid heavily for
Ah,
Jordan as well. So, do they think Jordan is the transition from Dwayne Bravo?
I don't think so because they're different kind of bowlers. Jordan doesn't bowl those cutters and all those things like Bravo does.
Yeah, but what unites them is both are death bowlers. As an RCB fan, you might disagree. I know Chris Jordan has given him a lot of matches, but generally Jordan is. I mean, batting wise, Jordan can bat, and
I don't think so because Bravo and first point when CSK has come up with the squad, I think they were looking at winning one more trophy with MS Dhoni. They were like,
yeah,
okay, let's win
yeah,
as much as we can with Dhoni and give him a proper send off, right?
yeah,
And so maybe that's why they have almost assembled the same squad. Just like as I said, they were every team has a spine, right? CSK has
yeah.
retained its old same old
The
spine.
same old spine.
Uthappa, Gaikwad, Moeen Ali. I mean, it's all with Jadeja, Bravo. So it's all the
It's
same
all
same DNA
almost
is
the
back.
same team. You could say almost the
Yeah,
same
it's
team.
it's the
Yeah,
same DNA over there, right
yeah.
through. So and
Nine,
actually,
nine, nine, nine is interesting for me. There's someone called as Rajvardhan Hangargekar. If you see there,
oh yeah, that's a
uh,
nice,
the,
nice. I was actually
uh,
thinking. I was actually coming to that. Maybe at number nine or number seven, whatever it is, we can play either that Hunger Kicker or maybe Shivam Dubey.
Shivam
Left-handed,
Dube, but yeah, does Shivam Dube bowl medium pace or does he bowl spin?
medium pace.
Medium pace, right? I don't think CSK need that kind of player there, Shivam Dube, because they already have a Bravo who does that, right? And they have Deepak Char, they'll have another fast bowler at number 11. So I don't think they want
Mhm.
Shivam Dube there. I think Hunger Gaker
Hunger Kicker, but
is
even Hunger Kicker is a pace bowling all rounder actually. You know,
yeah,
even
he's a pace bowling all rounder. Yeah, and his striking is actually clean. I was watching a few videos of him, and his
Mhm.
striking in the Under 19 World Cup is clean actually.
Yeah,
So
maybe a Hunger Kicker or maybe
yeah, yeah, you play a Hunger Gaker there, and then number 10 is I don't know if there is any one at number 10. Uh, they'll play Adam Milner for sure
sure. Yeah,
because that out and
he's
out a pacer,
great.
out and out
Yeah.
pacer. They really went for him. So
Mil-
Milner,
Actually, I think someone like Hunger Kicker or maybe Shivam Dube might come at number eight
yeah,
also.
after
Seven or number
Bravo, I
eight.
think after
Yeah,
Bravo.
Bravo, yeah, Shivam Dube or
Yeah. But then Deepak Chahar, I mean, everyone can bat in that CSK lineup. It's almost right.
I don't know. Shivam Dube. If Shivam Dube comes in, he'll bat a bit higher. Obviously, he can't bat at number eight. Shivam Dube
Yeah.
maybe will bat at number six, and
No,
uh,
I think Jadeja will be higher, and then maybe above Bravo because I don't know how much of batting form Bravo is in. But who will be at number 11? That's a big question mark for me actually.
it depends.
Scrolling
If, for
it.
example, if Devon Conway starts instead of Uthappa as an opener, based on the conditions, then
Yeah,
at number 11 they have enough options. They can go with someone like
yeah,
uh, Tushar Deshpande or K. Asif, some Indian bowler over there.
yeah,
Or
yes,
if they
yeah.
don't play Devon Conway over there, then
Devon,
down they can play either Chris Jordan or Mitchell Santner, depending on the conditions. If it's a spinning
yeah.
track, slowish track, then yeah, you can come with Mitchell Santner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Wayne Pretorius is a name you have to watch out for because
Oh yeah, true.
he's
Yes, yes,
is
yes.
a fine hitter of the ball and he bowls well as well. So Wayne Pretorius is very interesting for me, and he can bowl with the new ball as well. Not much of a death bowler, but yeah,
This is what separates. If you ask me, probably the best side. I mean, we were discussing the other day
yeah,
before this.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I, I rated CSK as the best squad.
yeah, yeah,
You might say old squad. They're just looking at the next 1 or 2 years,
yeah.
but we are just forming the team right now. Look at the amount of options they have.
Yeah.
Right?
They,
They can
they
they can just
almost have two players for each
every
position
position. They can
almost.
play open with Devon Conway or Uthappa or even
Yeah.
someone like Ambati Rayudu can open.
But
He has done it
Raidu,
before.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He has done it before, right?
Moeen
Or
Ali can open, so
Ali can
there's
open.
all
Middle order,
options.
Rayudu can bat. Uthappa can
Yeah,
bat.
yeah,
Dhoni might just not bat at all. Dhoni might just play. I'll
yeah,
go at number 11. All of you
yeah,
bat. I'll bat at number
yeah,
11. Right? So it's that mastermind behind
yeah.
everything.
True, true, true.
And look
Yeah,
how well spinning conditions. Yeah, they can bring in Mitchell Santner
yeah,
as an all rounder, or pacey, or because they bring in Chris Jordan as an all rounder.
yeah. I think spinning conditions they already have three spinners: Moeen Ali, Ravindra Jadeja, and Dwayne Bravo. So they don't need the fourth spinner.
That's MS Dhoni for you. You never know. Even MS Dhoni might even go out with 10 other
All
all
the five
rounders to play
bowlers are
with.
spinners.
Yeah, he might go with 10 all rounders, or maybe
Yeah,
or maybe none
yeah,
of the bowlers might get an over. Only the all rounders might bowl overs.
yeah. I mean, this is.
That's
I mean, I think this is the. I mean, just looking at the auction and the team speak, this has to be the best team, right?
Yeah, that has to be the best team
Has
because
to
they,
be the
they have
best team
covered
in the
literally everything.
auction.
I mean,
Yeah,
people, of course, there are people who might argue with us saying that, you see, that's an old squad. They didn't get a backup for Bravo. What after 1 year? They didn't get a backup. Yeah, they don't have a backup for someone like Ambat
no,
Rayudu, who is
no,
not fit
no, no,
enough.
no. Actually, I don't agree with that kind of argument because see, you're grooming Rituraj. There's Rituraj Gaikwad, and you're grooming Devon Conway for that opening position, and
Mhm.
then you've got Chris Jordan as almost kind of that Bravo thing. So CSK have that eye on the future as well. They're grooming certain kind of players to. I mean, you have got a Rajwardhan Hunger Gaker, to take
Yeah.
over that sort of a Bravo kind of a role again. So they bought in 3 to 4 players, and I think the best way to groom youngsters is to bring them in sets of 3 or maximum 4 players, and then give them time and space to grow in a period of 3 years. Work on them like a 3 year project, and that
Mhm.
is where I think SRH have really lagged behind someone like an SRH. So
And
so
also
CSK have their eye
looking
on
at
the
the current
future.
squad. Look at the current squad. They've got backup for every option. For example, Chris Jordan, you have a backup of
Yeah,
Adam Mill. Look
yeah,
at Mitchell Santner,
yeah.
a spin bowling all rounder or something. They've got Mahesh Tikshana. Mahesh
Okay.
Tikshana is excellent
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all rounder. He bowls right arm off break and he can bat a bit
yeah,
down.
yeah,
Right, they got Mahesh Tikshana in the squad. Oh, let's look at the squad. Sorry. If you look at the squad, you can see that they got Mahesh Tikshana over there,
yeah,
right, as a
yeah,
backup. And
yeah.
Indian bowlers, Deepak Chahar or KM Asif, they're not.
KM Asif is, I think, Dhoni likes him a lot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. KM Asif,
Yeah,
yeah, he's rated by Dhoni. All rounders, Dwayne Bravo. How about Dwayne Pretorius? If Dwayne Bravo doesn't play well in one or maybe
yeah.
one of
Dwayne
the
Pretorius can actually come. Dwayne Pretorius, people might not have heard of him, but
out of him,
he's
yeah,
at
exactly.
one point of time, it was almost like people were talking of him as the next Lance Klusener for the South African team. This was 4 5 years ago, even 5 6 years ago, and then he's gone off the boil.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, even Dwayne Pretorius can come in as a backup, and
yeah.
Ambati Raidu, they have backup options. They have everywhere. They have covered everything.
They've covered all. And Adam Milner, raw pace.
Yeah,
You're
that's
paying
true. Rob.
some.
You must be
You're
knowing
playing
because he
somewhere
was
on a
playing
one
for
cut day.
Mumbai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, on 150, he just bowls 150 thunderbolts.
yeah.
So
They have done so well that I only have one issue with this team.
yeah,
Just one issue
which
is that
is
after all this big auction, they didn't get
yeah.
a backup for Dhoni. I know it's very tough. You can never get a backup for Dhoni, but
You don't have a backup for Dhoni. I think
yeah, they
there's
didn't.
no backup for Dhoni. That's not
Yeah, yeah.
possible.
But but actually, on a serious note, I thought they might go after someone of a captaincy material, so that
And who is he? Do you have any player in the mind? In your
I don't
mind?
know. But there were rumors that they were trying for Kian Williamson, right? Before the auction happened, before SRS retained Kian Williamson, actually,
Yeah,
when
Ken
CSK was
Williamson.
actually trying to get Kian Williamson to the team.
Yeah, yeah. Ken
But
Williamson, I think, yeah, looks like someone who could live up to that expectation. Otherwise,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Similar billing.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, because you look at the makings of Dhoni, and Dhoni gave that last over to Joginder Sharma, which person would have held his nerve and done that and given that to Joginder Sharma when Harbhajan Singh was available. So I think that kind of a personality who can hold his nerve under extreme pressure, knowing that almost his entire captaincy career hinged on that one decision, that T20 World Cup final. So I think kudos to the person that Dhoni is. So
Yeah,
so I
I
think
mean,
it's
he'll be.
almost impossible to find a replacement for him.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know with MS
I mean,
Dhoni.
I mean,
That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you never know because when Sunil Gavaskar, just small example, when Sunil Gavaskar was retiring, people thought of that era thought no one would even replace him, but Sachin Tendulkar came along. When Sachin ended, no one thought that someone would replace. I mean, would replace Sachin, but now not replace. I would say would live up to the expectations. But Virat Kohli is there now, and someone else will come again. The show will go on like we have discussed. People will come, but
But
then
for me,
what will not come is the legacy left behind by Dhoni. That will be
oh,
pretty hard
not
to
yet.
match, I
That's
think.
exactly what Harsha Bhoglia, he said, no, I haven't left behind yet. So, no. I won't be surprised if Dhoni says, see, we have been saying, like, this is Dhoni's last year, this is Dhoni's last year for at least for the last 2 seasons now, 2 or 3
Yeah, two
seasons, right?
seasons. Yeah, yeah.
But he just keeps coming and performing.
He
He has
just
won
keeps
that trophy,
coming.
yeah. So, I won't be surprised if this continues again.
Yeah,
But yeah, but players I'm really looking forward to in this team is one, yeah, Devon Conway. I don't know if he
yeah.
opens, it's going to be good. And apart from that, Izaka covered everything. One
Every
loophole, yeah,
base.
one loophole, maybe the spin department. I don't know because previously they used
Uh,
to have Chawla, Harbhajan, because Chennai track. Because this season it's okay, but the next year when they go back to Chennai, they,
yeah,
they need
but
more slow bowlers.
no, but still they have it right. Moeen Ali, off spin, Jadeja left arm finger spin, and then you have Mitchell Sandner who they can bring on. He's a left arm spinner as well. So I think there's an abundance of slow bowling options there. But yeah, lack of a leg spinner that you could
Spinner maybe.
tell that that is a problem.
So yeah, for me probably it's such a nice
Yeah,
team.
yeah, such a
It's
nice
really
team. Yeah,
nice.
I
Yeah,
think the best team coming out of the IPL auction.
true. Yeah, true.
But then tournaments are not won and lost in the auction. So
And I don't think anyone else. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Fans from beyond. I don't think anyone else knows it better than Dhoni.
yeah,
Right? With Dhoni, it's not done until it's actually done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Until you cross that final line, yeah.
moving on. Let's go
Uh,
to the next team then.
so yeah, what is the next team you have in stone for us? Now it's a box of chocolates. Wow. You have opened a box that has a hole at the bottom, so all the chocolates are coming down. KKRs. I think we have just looked at one of the best teams, and now it's just the entire other way around.
Yeah, for all people wondering why we are talking like that about KKR, even though they've got Shreyas Iyer, they have broke the
Yeah,
bank for Shreyas Iyer with what,
yeah,
12 crores, 12.25
yeah.
crores.
Uh,
We'll let you know. We will get that once we start it off. So,
uh,
Mohan, come on, look at the
who's
squad. Who's opening for? Wait,
yeah,
yeah.
who's opening for you? For me, Alex Hales. Would you actually open with Alex Hales?
See, they've got
I mean,
interesting.
I mean, the problem with this team starts from the openers itself. For none
Exactly,
of the other
exactly.
teams, we have thought so much about the opening position itself. Literally, you knew who were opening for all of the other teams. But this squad,
Uh,
is it Alex Hales or who is it?
See, ideally, the thing
Yeah,
with KKR over here right now is
yeah,
until the end, I don't think they had enough players,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
First thing, look at the
They,
wicket keeping options they have, right?
they were
Before,
literally scrambling at the end, and yeah, Sheldon
yeah,
Jackson
before we
and Sam
continue,
Billings.
I'll just put the squad thing on the screen, right? I'll
Yeah,
just pop it up. Yeah, so I think it's you can see that, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
look at the main. We look at the wicket keepers they have got:
yeah.
Sheldon Jackson, Sam Billings. Only two
Billings,
keepers over
yeah,
there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So if and the other, they have retained Andrew Russell.
yeah,
They have retained Sunil Narayan.
yeah,
They have paid that much for Pat Cummins.
yeah,
So three foreigners done.
yeah.
Who's going to be a fourth foreigner? Because you don't have wicket keeper, will you play Sam Billings? But if you play Sam Billings, then the top is kind of there's no attacking
Yeah,
batsman in the
yeah,
top as well
yeah,
because
yeah. Because you play Sam Billings, that means Alex Hales is not coming in.
yeah,
So I don't know. This still looks a bit of mystery for me because on the first day it looked as if KKR had things covered. They were actually going well, and teams like SRH, MI, and others were shit. But at the end, I think
exactly.
KKR is the one
Yeah,
who
yeah.
look
I mean, Mohan,
incomplete.
this I would like to go about doing the business for KKR in this way, right?
Yeah.
I hope you can see the screen now, the team screen, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I'll just leave this spots taken for now, right? No, I'll just let you know why I'm doing
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Number six, like or number five rather, we'll
Andrew
have
Russell.
Andre Russell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think okay, we can fill the squads later.
We'll
Numbers
let, yeah,
and number
number six, we'll have
yeah,
Sunil Narayan,
okay.
and number seven,
Pat Cummins.
Cummins, right? And now there are three foreigners down here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And Venkatesh Iyer is obviously their opener. They have
And what about Tim Saudi? They bought him for 1.5 crore.
there's so much about this team. Moon. I'll let you know. Varun Chakravarti
Varun Chakravarti, they have retained him, so he
retained
has
him, right? Venkatesh
to
Iyer
play.
and
Yeah,
Shreyas Iyer is their captain.
yeah. So he has to play. Shreyas Iyer at
Shreyas,
three.
yeah, Shreyas at three or four, whatever the position is, and I think they announced today, right? That Shreyas is their
Yeah,
captain.
that he'll be the captain. Yes, yes. And Nitish Rana at 8 crore. So Nitish Rana is
Johan at
starting for
8
sure.
crores. Where does he play? He'll play at number three. So
No, generally
number four
three is yeah, three is Nitish Rana's position. So Nitish
is.
Rana plays at three, and then
Oh,
four is
I
Shreyas
think
Iyer, I think.
I skipped 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure. Yeah.
yeah, sir. So it's
Uh, I, I think we swap positions. Shreyas Iyer at four and Nitish Rana at three because that is what Nitish Rana has always played at.
but Shreyas here needs time to kind of build an innings, whereas Nitish Rana
Yeah,
doesn't.
actually, Nitish Rana needs more time to build an innings.
Oh, you think so? Wow.
Yes, yes, yes. Because Nitish Rana played, he was with MI for 3 years, 2 years,
Mhm.
2 years actually. So Nitish
Right.
Rana takes time, yeah. And you know what is the weakness of Nitish Rana? Short ball. Until now, everyone knows that. That's why MI had him for one season and just left him.
And so until now, you
Now,
got this one, right?
yeah, yeah.
Just
I actually
look,
think,
look at it. No, before you say anything, look at the squad. There's no wicket keeper yet,
yeah, there's no wicket keeper here. I
right?
think they have no choice but to play Sheldon Jackson. But then I think this is what KKR can do: play Sunil Narayan at number two,
Okay.
and then you play Sheldon Jackson maybe at number six.
Mm-hmm. But one other opening combination for me would be, maybe going with someone like start off with Alex Hales, right?
Okay,
Okay, maybe you can
okay,
think of Alex Hales up top
okay,
because if you look at Venkatesh Iyer, I mean
yeah,
Shreyas Iyer,
yeah.
Nitish Rana, I don't know. Like I think, do you really feel Nitish Rana is kind of, I don't know, maybe they would have overpaid. I don't know. I mean, with all due respect to Nitish Rana,
They've overpaid by almost 10x to him. I think it should be 1 crore or 80 90 lakhs.
right? So if they open with Alex Hales,
Yeah,
right, and then Sheldon Jackson should come in here, and
yeah.
I seriously don't know how well Sheldon Jackson can do.
Can Sheldon Jackson actually bat? I don't know.
I'm especially mentioning wicketkeeper over here because that's the main issue for this team,
Yeah,
right? If Sheldon
yeah,
Jackson is fine.
yeah.
Then number nine, you have Varun Chakravarti.
Yeah, I
And
think
they
10
already
should
done
be
with the
Shivam
Shivam Mavi.
Mavi
Yeah, they
because
have
they've
paid.
paid 7.25 crores for him.
That's an easy choice, no? If you pay more than five for any player, straight
Yeah, but
straight away
seven,
slot him into the team.
yeah, because if you don't play him, then the commentators will be telling, look at the $1 million bowler who doesn't even play. Look at the $1 million player. That's what they did to Krishna Gautham, right? There's
Yeah.
always a mention of him carrying the drinks every time. Look at the $1 million man carrying drinks.
So if that is in, who's gonna bowl at the
Number
end? Like
11. Number
maybe someone like Umesh
11.
Yadav? Yeah, Umesh Yadav. I don't see anyone else apart from Umesh Yadav over there.
Yeah, yeah. That is
Right?
good news for all the other teams. 2 crores, Umesh Yadav. All the other teams would have pooled money and given another 2 crores to Umesh Yadav.
Yeah.
4 crores, be there and get into the lineup.
Because and yeah, to all the viewers who are wondering why we thought we said KKR, it's kind of we're not that happy because first thing you don't know the form of these two. Alex Hales.
Yeah,
First thing, Alex Hales, we know that he scores runs. Alex Hales kind of he goes to the Alex Hales goes to the Pakistan Super League. He
yeah,
scores runs. So
yeah.
he goes to Caribbean. He scores runs. Big Bash. He scores runs.
But then you
Bangladesh.
can't
He scores
compare
runs.
the quality of those leagues to
Exactly.
IPL.
Exactly.
IPL is, you could say,
He has,
somewhere
I think
above.
he's once played an IPL before and he didn't click well. And somehow, I don't know why Alex Hales doesn't tend to do well in
Yeah,
on
and
Indian pitches, slowish pitches, So if Alex Hales doesn't do well,
I
right?
think I think this is the problem with Jason Roy as well. Jason Roy does well in all of the T20 leagues around the world, but then
Mhm.
he comes to the IPL and he sort of, struggles a bit, doesn't do well, and also.
So yeah, I mean, see, if in case if Alex Hales doesn't do well, right? I mean, I put Alex Hales over there. It's because I want Alex Hales to do well, and I want to see because that brings a different dimension to this team. Look at Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana. Yeah, you might say is a bit attacking. Shreyas Iyer. This guy, you need someone like Alex Hales attacking instincts in the power play, right?
Yeah,
Especially
or
this year matches will be in Mumbai batting
but
tracks,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you need Alex Hales up top. If you don't and that's because but if the downside of this is look at this
Yeah.
five
Sunil Narayan
six
packs, I mean,
seven
five,
eight
6,
and
7, 8.
yeah
Would
and
you do
frankly
this
speaking
thing?
even Andy
Would you?
Russell isn't in the best form of his life.
Yeah,
I
best
mean
of him,
even
and we don't know his injury situation and
oh yeah
stuff,
true that's true
fitness
injury
situation. Yeah, fitness.
so that 5 6 7 8 is as weak is very weak. Sunil Narayan is not the old batsman that he used to be where he used to
Yeah,
somehow come
yeah,
in the middle tonk the ball. Pat
yeah.
Cummins
And
yeah maybe
yeah,
yeah
and
go
also
on now.
Sunil Narayan is at his best when he's opening, right? Because
Mhm.
in the middle, I don't remember Sunil Narayan being such effective in the lower middle order. could we do this? Could we? I mean, could they put Sunil Narayan at the top and bring Venkatesh Iyer to number six, which would
Actually, I
provide them
thought the
with
same
more of
because
a
Venkatesh Iyer
spine.
plays a similar role for
Yeah, for
Indian team.
India, right?
Even
For
today as
India,
well.
yeah, for the Indian
But
team, correct?
then
Yeah,
I don't think so because even the Syed Mustakari Trophy for Madhya Pradesh, I think he plays one down or maybe
one down
opening or one down.
opener, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so for Madhya Pradesh. So I don't think they'll disturb Venkatesh Iyer's position, right? Or maybe
Because this looks very weak, the middle order. Because Andre Russell on his day he'll hit, but otherwise he's almost like a first ball duck out. Even that can happen with Andre Russell, right? When that
yeah,
happens, the entire team will collapse, just like bicycle stand. You push one bicycle and all the bicycles
the
fall down.
dominance effect. Yeah.
Domino effect, exactly.
Or one thing that's what where the only one smart buy that I think KKR has done is to buy this player, Ajinkya Rahane. Because if in case
Ajinkya
let's
Rahane.
imagine Alexis doesn't do well at top, like then you can play Rahane over there, right? And to sort out this middle order. I'm saying Rahane over there because if you really want to sort out the middle order,
Yeah,
right? Then you play Rahane instead of Alex Hills and you remove Sheldon Jackson.
yeah.
Right? Instead of Sheldon
And you
Jackson,
play a
you
Sam
can use Sam
Billings.
Billings. Sam Billings will play at number five,
Yeah.
right? And Andy Russell will come down. So that will be kind of what do you
Yeah.
say, balance if you want to find, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think that would give more of a balance actually with playing Rahane up top and putting Sam Billings in the middle order.
yeah,
Because Sam Billings is a very good player of Spain as well. I think Sam Billings played for CSK in the
yeah.
previous
He played
seasons,
for
right?
CSK.
And
Yes.
and he's played very well. So Sam Billings, yeah.
One more downside of this, maybe they've even got Mohammad Nabi. I don't know where they can even play Mohammad Nabi. If you look at the squad out there, right? They got so many nice players. Look at Mohammad
Yes,
Nabi
yes.
over there. Like Samika
Mohammad Nabi.
Karuna, you won't. Team Saudi sadly may not get a chance to play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they have maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know
I
where they
think
went wrong.
Mohammad Nabi is almost straight swap with Sunil Narayan. I see that is the
Hmm.
only place where Nabi can play because otherwise it will disturb the balance of the order.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of surprising. Don't know why with KKR even the next team that we'll be looking at Gujarat have left
Yeah,
this wicket keeping option so late, right?
yeah. I mean, I mean, there are some teams you can talk about having holes, but with Gujarat Titans, you can't even
Yeah, we'll
compare
get
them.
there.
Gujarat
That's
is
true.
on another level. We'll talk
Yeah,
about it later.
later. With KKR, yeah, this is the thing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
they've got options. The good thing is they've got options, not denying that. But if someone asks you what exactly is their first 11, and look at this bowling of Umesh Yadav, Shivam Mavi,
Yeah, yeah.
right? They have paid almost 8 crores for Shivam Mavi, around
And 2
7.25
crores for
crores.
Umesh Yadav. So it's almost
But
10
is
crores
he
of.
really worth that much? I don't know. Nitish Rana, 8 crores.
Actually, they have given so much for Shivam Mavi because Shivam Mavi can bat as well.
Hmm.
Shivam Mavi can tonk it. People say that. I mean, he can tonk not like Deepak Chahar, but in that mold he can tonk it. Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, that mold he can hit the ball. So,
And then
but
Nitish Rana, coming to
see,
this,
see,
see,
see, that's what when you scroll through the KKR lineup from the top, Nitish Rana, okay, he's susceptible to the short ball. He absolutely doesn't like the short ball. And Nitish Rana, it's not like he has set the world on fire. He has been a hit and miss last season, before that last season. So I don't know why they paid 8 crores for him.
Mhm.
And then Andre Russell, always fitness concerns. Always,
Andrew
you
Russell,
never know when
I
he
think it just
can.
comes to IPL on a stretcher, and
Yeah, yeah,
really
on a stretcher, exactly. It's a brave thing that they have retained him actually,
true, true.
because in the auction, I don't think he would have gone for 12 crores, because franchises would have looked at the fitness and that part of it. And then you look at Sunil Narayan. Is he the same bowler that he has been in the previous seasons? I don't know. The effect has gone, right. Once
Mhm.
upon a time, Sunil Narayan was like Rashid Khan at his prime. 4 overs of Sunil Narayan were almost nothing, they were peanuts. But right now, Sunil Narayan, he's going at 8 and over, right, regularly. So that's an other thing. The keeper situation is there. I don't know how they'll sort it out. And then Umesh Yadav, I think Umesh Yadav has been a straight replacement for Ishant Sharma. One ball, one running giver gone, and another expensive buyers arrived.
Yeah, I mean, they have got players, but out of them, how many are reliable? I don't know. Russell
Yeah, yeah,
injury,
reliable.
Sunil Narayan
Yeah, yeah,
thing,
not
Pat Cummins. Yeah,
reliable at all.
obviously, Pat Cummins. You can trust Pat Cummins, and
Yeah.
Nitish Rana, it grows because now a lot hinges on Nitish Rana. Because if,
Nitish
for
Rana,
example, just
exactly.
imagine Rahane opens, if Rahane opens the innings now,
Yeah,
along with Venkatesh Iyer, right?
yeah,
So now Venkatesh Iyer can do it, but Rahane is not. Rahane can only strike at 120 or something,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
comes in
yeah,
Shreyas Iyer, who takes time to settle in. So even he
yeah,
can't straight away strike it around 140. So
yeah,
Nitish Rana has to take up that role,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then comes Andy Russell. No, it's not the best of his
I
forms. Then
mean,
Sunil Narayan. No, Pat Cummins.
I mean that entire middle order is almost non-existent.
Exactly, exactly.
Look at
So
there's no
the
one over
bowlers,
there.
opponents will be like, okay, the moment I get past
Shreyas
that
Iyer, it's all
Shreyas Iyer,
over.
we can just do it because
Yeah, yeah,
getting past Shreyas Iyer is the main thing over there,
yeah, yeah.
right? The top four.
And and
So
and and also and also I think you look at the strike rate of Shreyas Iyer and the strike rate of Ajinkya Rahane. Surprisingly, both of them have similar numbers, similar strike rates, similar averages. So Shreyas Iyer strikes at 126. Rahane strikes at round about the same 120, 126. You have a big problem out there. So you are expecting Nitish Rana to strike at 150, 160. You're expecting Andre Russell. I mean, Andre Russell only knows strike rates above 160. It's at the 0 or 160. Andy Russell doesn't deal with numbers in between. So, but then you look at it, it's, I don't know, it's almost Shreyas Iyer, Rahane. You're almost praying that Nitish Rana has a flyer of a tournament.
mhm, true. So yeah, so that's the KKR team. So they're
Yeah.
done okay. They're
I,
not done bad, but I mean, I would say.
I think you're being a bit modest here about KKR because I would outrightly say that I think they've had one of the worst auctions.
But again, as I always look at every team, no, the
Yeah,
captain. Uh, One thing I'm really looking forward to, or kind of excited about, is Shreyas Iyer's captaincy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And thanks to Ricky Ponting, no matter how much we hated him back in the 2000s
yeah, he
for
is.
scoring runs against India, no,
Yeah,
actually we should thank him for grooming leaders like Rohit Sharma or
Rohit
maybe
Sharma, exactly.
Shreyas Iyer,
Shreyas
and then
Iyer,
Rishabh Pant right
Rishabh
now.
Pant. Yeah. Actually, Ricky Ponting was the one who groomed Hardik Pandya as well. You might laugh with me now, but when he was the coach of MI, he found Hardik Pandya. Now, I don't know how the grooming has gone on. It has totally gone in the opposite direction that I can understand.
But yeah, okay squad for KKR, I feel. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
maybe they'll
again,
have
tournaments are not won in the. We've been repeating it throughout the show. Tournaments are not won in the auction.
auction.
They're
Okay,
not
true.
lost in the auction. But then I think they did not take as much advantage of the auction as they should have. I think they didn't plan well, KKR, and they were unnecessarily always raising the paddle and high-fiving and doing all that stuff.
If
Instead
you're
of that,
talking
they should
about
have.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, but even at the end, for some fun player, I don't know who the player was. They were actually KK were actually going after him. I forgot who the player was, and they still had to buy five players, and they just have one
Yeah,
and a
it,
half
it
crore
was
left.
it, it was it was Romario
Kumara
Shepherd.
Shepherd, right? Yeah, they just
Yeah.
had SRH or who someone not chipped in at the last moment. They would have just
Yeah,
been left with 1 crore and to fill in at least four more slots. That's suicidal, right?
that's
But yeah,
that's.
because
I don't know who does the planning there for KKR, but they absolutely had the worst.
true. But
Actually,
save that. Save all these things for the next team that's going to come up, right? And this team and all the fans, they please don't be disappointed because this is probably the team which I have struggled to form playing 11. I haven't struggled this much
yeah.
to form, and that team is Gujarat Titans. Right?
Gujarat
Sorry,
Titans.
there's no logo and all that stuff for this
There's
because
no
I mean,
logo as well. So they've struggled to get a logo. They've struggled to pick players who can form a team. But they've brought in Ashish Nehra as the coach. And Hardik Pandya as the captain. And the great thing about Gujarat Titans is they've somehow managed to get Ashish Nehra to sit in one place for 2 days.
yeah. So coming to our last and final team in this year's IPL auction review, it's the Gujarat Titans.
Gujarat Titans.
Okay, so and frankly, I have been watching cricket for long. We have been doing these videos for a long time
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah,
I have I haven't struggled this much to form playing 11 for in the recent times because
yeah,
first coming to the auction, right?
yeah,
They have just splashed some money on few I wouldn't say unnecessary. I mean, no, some okay. Maybe I should take back. No players unnecessary, but
Yeah,
they've actually splashed money on few players.
yeah,
Like for example, someone like Rahul Tewatia going for 9 crores,
yeah, yeah.
right? Lockie Ferguson 10 crores, and the moment you see almost 20 crores being spent on two players, right? And especially Rahul Tewatia is good, even made it
I
to India
mean,
inside. I understand that, but has
but
he
10
has he
crores
ever
is
yeah, exactly, has he ever batted that great that you give him 10
that
crores
great.
apart from
Yeah, 10
a
crores. Yeah,
single over against Sheldon
yeah.
Cotton, was it?
Sheldon
Yeah,
Cottrell. Yeah.
5. Yeah, we were discussing, right? There were memes and everything in the internet
Yeah, a
saying that.
few people were even commenting also that Sheldon Cottrell should demand a commission of that money from Rahul Tewatia.
Yeah, yeah, because it was that just one over where he scored
That's
five
one over
sixes,
exactly.
right? So,
Again, this highlights the supply demand problem. Wrist spinners themselves are rare. Wrist spinners who can bat that to Indians are almost a rare commodity, right?
I
Someone
mean,
like Rahul Tavatia, who can do both those skills. Who
mhm.
is another Indian there in the who can do like that in. Actually, I don't see many. Maybe a Karan Sharma, but Karan Sharma is past his prime.
Like
So I
look
think,
at, I mean, look at the squad. What they have done is initially, they
uh,
have just splashed cash on these two, three players. After
uh,
that, maybe after that they thought, okay, fine, we have got good players. They got all
uh,
rounders, nice. They got
uh,
all rounders, very good. After that, they got one or two batsmen, fine. They got batsmen, that's very good. And then they got really nice bowlers, like uh, I mean, the bowling
I
is
don't,
kind of
I,
no, no.
I
I
don't
mean, let
understand.
me be sure. Like they got
Yeah,
some
yeah,
nice bowlers in kind of maybe Alzari Joseph. You might say
yeah,
Rashid Khan, Mohammad
yeah,
Shami was a good buy for them.
yeah,
Initially, when they bought Mohammad Shami, I thought, okay, fine, they're doing well. But maybe in the last 1 hour of the auction, like or maybe half an hour, maybe by looking at team sheets, they would have realized, okay, who's going to keep wickets for us?
yeah.
Who's going to keep wickets? Who? Hardik
And they
Pandya?
went for Matthew Wade.
I mean, they didn't have a single keeper until the
Single
last
keeper, yeah,
15, 20
exactly.
minutes. And then they went for Saha and Matthew Wade. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe Saha is a good keeper. Matthew Wade, okay, decent buy amongst all the other foreigners left.
Yeah,
Fine.
I,
But
I thought
you
Matthew Wade was a
you
good
bought a wicket
selection.
keeper.
Yeah,
You bought a wicket keeper who
yeah,
can who can only bat at the top.
yeah,
At the same time, you already got Shubman Gill, Jason Roy, these kind of players at the top,
yeah.
right?
I
So,
I th- I think I think that is one thing people get a bit wrong about Matthew Wade, because Matthew Wade has of late played in that middle order also, in that finishing role also for Australia, and also for some of the franchises he's played in the T20 leagues around the world. So I think Matthew Wade can play in that finishing role as well. So that's why I thought Matthew Wade was a good buy actually, because people have this, I won't say misconception, but a thing about Matthew Wade, that he can only bat at the top, but I do think he can play that finishing role as well, a bit like Tim Seifert.
mhm.
So I think Matthew Wade was, it's not
Okay,
a shrewd buy, but it's a buy that they had to go for.
okay,
They,
okay.
they had no
Just like
option.
just like how would you have helped me with this?
Yeah.
Then fine. I'll just start filling two options, right? Help me with this, so you help me with this as well. Then okay, I'll start doing this. Jason Roy. Okay. Then it's Matthew Wade. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're perfectly here. Yeah, I just. So thing is, we have Jason Roy here.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have
Yeah.
Shubman Gill over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who's gonna bat it?
Uh,
3, 4, 5.
I think they're gonna give three to David. No, David Miller is not that kind of a. Okay, let us leave the three spot vacant. I think
Okay.
four will be Hardik Pandya.
Okay.
One promotion for getting out of
Matthew
MI
Wade.
and being
Oh, okay.
captain.
Maybe
Five,
then Matthew Wade should be going up, I believe.
five has to be Vijay Shankar.
I mean, like seriously.
Yeah, it has to be Vijay Shankar, I think.
I mean, do you really see that happening? I mean, like Vijay
I mean,
Shankar.
they have paid 1.7 crores for Jayant Yadav.
Okay,
So, do you think that they can start Jayant Yadav over there?
coming to let's finish off with this thing. Okay,
Actually, I think number three, there's this guy called as Abhinav Manohar Sadrangani. I
okay.
think we have talked about him a lot. He's like
Mm-hmm.
2.6 crores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they play him at number three. And
Okay,
also, it's been, I mean, looking at a few stats of his, it's like he's a sort of a grafter, he can build innings and stuff like that. So,
okay. So then let's go with Abhinav Manohar. I think isn't he finisher? I think he's a finisher, right?
no, 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 no. He's that sort of a innings building batsman.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's why they've put so much of money on him.
Oh, I always thought Abhinav Manohar was kind of the.
Because when I read about him here on Crickbuzz, they say that he's a solid middle order bat.
Mhm.
Has the power game, can also be used as a pinch hitter. So yeah,
Let's look at his stats
yeah,
statistically.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's go with Abhinav at number three now. For
yeah,
now,
yeah,
in Hardik
yeah.
Pandya, Vijay Shankar, Matthew Wade, and number seven
Rahul,
has to be
Rahul,
Rahul.
Rahul Tewatia.
Yeah, after paying that much,
Yeah.
right?
10.75 crores. Wow.
Wow. So who's next after Rahul Tewatia then?
Rashid Khan has to be there.
Mm-hmm. So you're directly going. Okay, fine. The four bowlers.
I don't understand this. You already have a leg spinner, right? And Rashid Khan who can
Exactly.
bat. So instead of going 10 crores for Rahul Tewatia, they could have bid that same 10 crores for Kunal Pandya. Hardik Pandya could be happy. And then you would have got a left arm spinner who can bat. There'd be variety in the attack as well.
Then they'll have to go and play Lockie Ferguson.
Yeah,
Maybe
lucky
Lockie
for you.
Ferguson can bat nine.
Uh, 10 crores.
How many foreigners? Jason Roy done. Matthew Wade done. Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson. Four foreigners done.
Yes, and the 11th player will be. Hmm, so you can't play an Alzari Joseph over there.
No.
Maybe I think there's someone called as Sai Kishore and they're giving him 3 crores.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How
Or
about
else, would you play a Varun Aaron?
you never know? Or how about playing some all rounder like Dominic Drakes in the
I don't
middle?
know because they've given
Or maybe
some.
Jayant Yadav.
Maybe Jayant Yadav. Yeah, they've spent heavily on Jayant Yadav as well, right?
Jayant Yadav, I think so, yeah.
But
I
then
don't know
there
how
are
much
no
they have.
fast bowling. There are no fast bowling options in the team apart from Shami Lakipar usually if you look. Because
Exactly.
Hardik
Maybe Hardik
Pandya, we don't
Pandya
know
should start
how his back is. I mean, if
Mohammed.
you think Hardik Pandya and Vijay Shankar are your third and fourth bowlers, I don't know what the team will become.
And interestingly, Ashish Nehra, after
Yeah.
the auction was done, Ashish Nehra has asked how happy was he with this team, and he is like, I would give myself a rating of 11 on 10. I mean, what?
I
The, the,
mean, this
the,
is. Go on,
yeah,
go
carry
on.
on. Go on. The only thing I thought was they don't. I mean, wasn't there a basic level of planning involved? Because every team has its own set of
Uh,
strategies, its own
uh,
analysts. There's a lot
uh,
of data involved. There's a lot of research done, and I don't know why they haven't gone to wicketkeeper until the end. There were
yeah,
so
until
many
the
nice
end.
wicketkeepers, right?
Yeah. Uh,
They were not ready to spend money on Quinton Decock, who just went for 6.5 crores.
It's a marquee player,
Marquee
and they
player,
had a
yeah.
lot of and they had a lot of purse as well.
And
Um,
don't know what
I,
made them actually believe don't trust David Miller. I mean, David Miller is not actually not the David Miller of the old anymore, right? He's
yeah, but then they paid 3 crores for him. I don't know why. And also that too at the end, right? I can't understand this thing also, David Miller. And
So
also another interesting thing is Ashish Nehra himself is a fast bowler, but yet all of the fast bowlers are under overpaid in this team. Is Ashish Nehra also the secret president of the fast bowlers union? We have to check. We don't know.
you never know. I mean, but yeah, all in all, this
But
Gujarat
then
Titans team.
that middle order looks weak, right? Hardik Pandya hit and miss. You can't say he's the most consistent.
I have clarification.
Yeah.
Is it middle order? For first of all, to say that it's weak.
Oh. There's no middle order over there. There should be something to say it's weak, right?
Yeah, where is the middle order?
That is also true. It's a big gap over there. Vijay Shankar, Matthew Wade, Rahul Tewatia.
Amongst all those players, only Matthew Wade I find a bit reliable
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
because Hardik Pandey, no, Vijay Shankar. I mean, his I don't know if he's even still playing here sometimes. Uh,
yeah.
Rahul Tewatia is off. I don't know. Can you
I
trust him?
I
No.
think I think in the entire team it's only Shubman Gill and Matthew Wade who you can rely
Yeah,
in terms of batting this thing, right? Otherwise, all of the others are more miss than hit.
more miss than hit. That's a nice way of putting it. That's actually a nice way of putting it. More miss than hit. Oh, we still not done with the squad yet. Where's the last squad? Jayant Yadav.
No, who's? I don't think. I think.
It should be
Uh,
Jayant Yadav. Who else? Because they need an Indian.
yeah, they need an Indian, but they've interestingly spent 3.5 crores on. I mean, they spent 3 crores on Jayant Yadav as well,
Hmm.
but they have spent 3 crores on Sai Kishore. Then they have spent 3 crores on Yash Dayal. I don't know whose bank account this money is going into. That is another thing.
Gujarat Titans. I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of initially thought maybe they might do well with the moment they got Mohammad Shami.
Yeah, with the purse they've got and
Because they
stuff.
have got,
Because
yeah,
Lucknow Giants have done extremely well, right?
true,
They've
true.
almost covered all the bases. I think these are two. You say North Pole and South Pole. That's how these two new teams are.
So yeah, so that's Gujarat. So that's guys Gujarat team. If if you guys can make a better team, then please let us know in the comments below,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
uh, I don't know. I mean, like who and yeah, like I always say, for every team, right?
yeah.
Captain is obviously worth two players. And
Two
who's the
players. Yeah.
captain? Hardik Pandya. I mean, he's not a proven leader. I'm not saying he may not be good, but he's not a proven leader.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
be interesting to see how he'll develop.
yeah,
And one more thing is when I don't know, like who's uh, every captain, right? Every
yeah,
captain has a kind of leadership group around him. Like every player, for example, you see Rohit Sharma. Sometimes
yeah.
he'll go and you go and see him talking to. Doesn't matter how
Yeah,
good
there
the
is
captain
Pollard.
is. There's Pollard
There's
over there.
Pollard.
There is Bumrah over there. Or maybe back then they used to have bowled. They used to have people
Yeah,
like that. Look at previously Virat Kohli. They used to have AB de Villiers, and then they had Maxwell. They had people whom you can bank on to, right?
yeah,
Especially for
yeah.
a young captain like Hardik Pandya. Look at the leadership group in that team, right?
Yeah.
I'll just put up the squad on the screen right now.
You're forgetting Ashish Nehra. He is almost like a player only. He just runs around that boundary line providing input. So you
The
can
only
rely on
nice,
him.
I mean, reliable. I
Matthew
don't know
Wade, I
who is
think.
going to like lean on to when something actually, maybe David
I think
Miller.
has to be Matthew Wade. Has to be Matthew Wade because I think Wade has captained Australia in a few matches. Has
Hmm.
he in a few T20 matches? I think he has. I think Matthew Wade is the one who you can rely. And also a few points about Hardik Pandya in MI. For example, he was bowling and when a fielder misfielded or someone was didn't take a catch, Hardik Pandya sometimes you have to shout on that player straight in the field himself and Rohit Sharma or Kunal Pandya had to come to Hardik Pandya to calm him down and stuff like that. So such things don't work as a captain, right? You can't just shout on players because you need to absorb pressure. And I don't think how good Hardik Pandya is as a personality in absorbing pressure. Batting is a different thing, but overall in managing the field, changing your bowlers, trusting the bowler when they're having an off day. Those situations. I don't think Hardik Pandya is still there yet. We might be proven wrong, but at this point, his Hardik Pandya is not there yet.
Yeah. True. So I think we covered all the things with this, right? Like,
Yeah, we've covered all the teams. Yeah, and we've had a pretty comprehensive analysis, I would say, of all the teams. We've gone
yeah.
about all of the points. Yeah.
Hmm.
You were
So
just I saw that you were just typing 12 on the screen where you almost ready to write Ashish Nehra over there and then you didn't write it.
no, I mean, I don't know. I was really surprised by Gujarat. If
Uh,
there's any team that has utterly, I mean, out and out disappointed me, then it's Gujarat.
yeah, Gujarat. I mean, those are basics, right? How can you not pick a keeper until the end?
Yeah, true. Somehow they got it wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's it from us. I mean, so all in all, how was the action, Mohan? Apart, by the way, we forgot to mention about the auctioneer who fainted, right? Thankfully, he was
yeah,
Charu Sharma filled in to do well,
yeah.
but yeah, he was kind of that was a scary moment. I was watching live and
Yeah, and I mean,
live on
camera
TV.
was not onto him, but then you could hear the thud, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you were
true.
like, "What the hell has happened?" And then all the cameras zoomed in, and then yeah, it
It was
was
all
scary thing actually, because at that point of time, you just hope that the person doesn't have anything internally. It was just a physical
true.
fall. It's not a heart attack or something like that. That's the only
Yeah,
thing you
true.
worry about. So on and all, I thought the auction was very good for most of the teams. But
Hmm.
then you have some teams who don't do planning and homework and come and just fool around in the auction. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I mean, yeah,
KKR,
actually, yeah. I mean, few people are saying the snacks were good, at the auction.
uh,
And also, at every table we see around uh, 6, 7 people. For example, look at SRH.
uh,
There was there was owner sitting over there, right? There was Tom Modi, Brian Lara, Hemang
uh,
Badani, right?
Muralidharan.
But who was the owner talking to? Someone on call somewhere. Like so, basically, it's
Yeah.
like in
So was it
on
was
every
it
table.
Simon Catich? Was it Simon Catich who she
I
was
don't.
talking to?
I don't think so. Maybe
Because
I don't know. Maybe Catich and
I'm not
Dale
sure
Steyn. I
about
don't know.
it. Yeah,
Maybe their
maybe.
analyst. Maybe their analyst or strategist might be somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe it was not there. But there are few teams wherein you can see that few players were there. Few
yeah,
people are just there to fill the tables, as.
nah. But
And the interesting thing was, yeah, carry on.
yeah, no, no, go on, go on.
Yeah, I mean the interesting thing was when Arjun Tendulkar came out, right? And which team was it? Delhi Capitals or
Yeah,
Lucknow?
Delhi Capitals put
Delhi
in a
Capitals.
cheeky bid
Yeah,
for him, and then trolls were coming that Delhi Capitals have increased the salary of Arjun Tendulkar by 20 lakhs. But then Akash Ambani was worried at that point of time because MI just had a purse of what 35 lakhs left, and then you had Arjun Tendulkar, and there was no way that he was. He couldn't have literally gone back, right? Because Sachin Tendulkar is the batting coach, a mentor over there, and then
true.
I think it would not have been. I mean, how could you go and face him? So
Nice. So overall, it was nice auction.
yeah,
It was actually
it,
very, and by the way, it's very good to be back, doing videos.
uh, uh,
So yeah, so
yeah.
hope to
We'll
see
we'll
you guys
we'll make sure
soon.
that we'll be doing videos more regularly.
Yeah.
So
So
and also another thing, can you guess which owner made the most of the IPL auction in terms of utilizing all the facilities, all the players and all? Can you guess the name? Is it the Delhi
which
Capitals owner? Is it the Rajasthan Royals owner?
like what do you mean by who made the most? I mean, what sense?
I mean, he was highly involved in the auction. He was talking to everybody. All of this, he was having all of the snacks. He was always calling up for
Is that
coffee. All of
Nespadia?
the yes, exactly. That's what. Yeah, he was like Charu Sharma was shouting, 2 crores once. दो दो प्लेट लेके आना raise the pedal, wow, that's what
Nice. It was
such
nice.
a good personality, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, guys, from this IPL auction preview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Right? If there's anything or anything that we got wrong or your own playing 11s, that's actually a good
Yeah,
exercise to be done. It's a lot of fun. I try to
yeah,
form your own playing 11s for every team for the team that you
yeah,
support. Right? two, three different teams, and you can just post it in the comments over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anything else, Mohan? I
yeah,
think yeah, yeah.
not
Mohan will
nothing.
head.
All of you guys take care and see you all until the next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you soon. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.